Milnikov will be starting the game, and there's Fetisov skating on the ice right now. Of course, the presentations here in the Colisée de Québec are entirely in French, so we'll lead you along here. As Alexei Gusarov skates on the ice, and here's a very familiar figure, Kasatonov.
Le numéro 7, Vladimir Malakov. Le numéro 8, Igor Larionov. Le numéro 9, Vladimir Krutov.
Well, Brad, there are some that think that Krutov may be the best all-round player on this Soviet team, with all due respect to the, of course, very starry Makarov.
Like Krutov, I mean, if you looked at him last year in the Olympics, he was just outstanding. The way he took over in a lot of the games, he got the puck out of the corner. He is the real brute force on this line. He is such a corner man for Makarov and Larionov. He's just a superb athlete.
Number 13 is Kamensky, big fellow, drafted by the Nordiques, as a matter of fact, in the 8th round a couple of years ago. 6'2", 198 pounds. Homotov, getting used to this fella. He's part of the #1 scoring line in the Soviet Union now. Plays with Bekov and Kamensky.
One of the things, Ron, I was looking at the Soviets today when they were skating, and I remember over the years they were always short and stocky players, but their range and their height has really grown in the last couple of years. They've got guys that are 6'1", 6'2" now.
There's Bekov, center of that high-scoring line with Homotov and Kamensky. Another fellow is familiar, Igor Stelnov, number 21.
That's the one thing I'm seeing the Soviets. They're starting to appreciate some of their older players. I know in '72 we had a lot of guys who were 28 and 30 years old, and I'm not saying it's good to keep some older players around, but the real quality older players are great to keep around, because as much as you tell people how to do things, if they can see a star player actually do it live, it's easy for them to pick it up. It's like reading out of a book or doing it in real life. Doing it in real life is much better.
Number 26 is Chernik. He's one of the players that was picked up from Kimmich, which is a surprise team in the Soviet Union this year, currently in second place, and winners over the Central Army twice already this season. So the Soviet Union Central Army team now will meet their opponents tonight here at the Colisée in Quebec City. And the starting goaltender for tonight's game will be Bob Mason. And his backup, Mario Gosselin, who has been seeing a lion's share of the work for this Nordic hockey club in regular NHL play recently. Bobby Dulles, who was drafted by the Winnipeg Jets and was traded here. And a Finn, Ilo Järvi from Helsinki, Finland, drafted in 1983. Here's another one of the players traded for by the Nordiques from Washington originally. Gaëtan Duchesne is from Lessol, Quebec. And the guy they like to call Goulet, Michel Goulet, great scoring star in the NHL. And a youngster from Kingston, Ontario, Trevor Steinberg. Montrealer who played his junior hockey in Kitchener, Mike Huff, number 18. And in his 8th year with the Nordiques, Alain Côté from Matane, Quebec. Recently scored his 600th career point at Anton, part of the brother combination from Bratislava, Czechoslovakia. And is it already 8 years that Randy Moeller has played for the Quebec Nordiques? He's really fitted in well with this organization. Young up-and-coming defenseman Jeff Brown from Ottawa, played junior in Sudbury. And Paul Gillis from Toronto. His junior hockey was played in North Bay and Niagara Falls. There's Jeff Jackson from Chatham, Ontario. Perhaps the greatest player ever developed in Czechoslovakia. Hard to argue it. Peter Stasny. Vince from Laval played his junior hockey in Laval. And Mario Marwa just came back to the Nordics. They traded Gord Donnelly out to Winnipeg to get Marwa back. Big influence in the dressing room. They think this kid's going to be great. Curtis Lesician, Thompson, Manitoba, Saskatoon junior. Walt Podubny, the Rangers the last 2 years. Black eye and all. And here's Joe Sakic. They really love him in this city. Canadian Junior Player of the Year last season. And he's really put himself into the running for Rookie of the Year in the National Hockey League despite an injury. And there's Jean Perron. Perron taking over the coaching reins from Ron Lapointe, who we are told is resting well in hospital here in Quebec City after an operation to remove a cancerous kidney. And we're going to have a special presentation after the two captains, Peter Stasny of Czechoslovakia, Sergei Makarov, the traditional exchange of the team pennants. Peter Stasny's seen Makarov a few times on the ice. A lot of tournaments against each other.
Deux équipes de l'Union soviétique à celle de la Ligue nationale de hockey. Et à l'occasion également de cette première rencontre en Amérique du Nord, la direction des Nordiques est heureuse d'offrir à M. Viktor Tikhonov un magnifique tableau
résident de respect from the two coaches. Viktor Tikhonov coming out along with Jean Perron.
Au nom de l'organisation des Nordiques, remet avec Tikhonov ce tableau intitulé Le matin à Saint-Aimé-des-Lacs en Charlevoix.
And here at the Colisée, we are going to have a moment of silence here to honor the tragedy, the earthquake tragedy in Armenia.
Merci, mesdames, messieurs. Maintenant, monsieur Guy Lavoie interprétera les hymnes nationaux soviétiques et canadiens, accompagnés à l'orgue par monsieur Marcel Lajeunesse.
Stand by, the Quebec Nordiques versus the Central Army of the Soviet Union. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. We're back at the Colisée in Quebec City. Tonight, the Nordiques and the Central Army of Moscow. There's the referee for tonight's game, Ron Hogarth of the NHL. The linesman will be Gerard Gauthier and Wayne Bonney. We're playing under NHL rules.
There's a look at the Soviet goaltender tonight, Sergei Melnikov. He has a lifetime goals against average in the Soviet League of 3.15. And we've seen a little bit of him in the past. At the other end, we're going to look at Bob Mason, who is Jean Perron's choice tonight, basically because he believes that Gosselin, he's saving him for the regular schedule, but he wants to give Bob Mason some work.
So the face-off will be at center ice, and it'll be the green unit for the most part for the Soviet Union. And you'll notice as you look down that number 8 for the Soviets is Igor Larionov. That is not the number he wears with their national team, so you have to get used to that. He wears number 11 with the Soviet national team, facing off against Paul Gillis, and from the face-off back to Marois. Marois clears it out over his line. Côté at center ice drops it back inside the zone. That's Marois clearing it to the line, but not out. Makarov knocks it away, and digging in after it is Krutov for the Soviets. Tries to get it in front, and the pass out was intercepted by Marois, who's playing his position perfectly. And Marois has it at center ice now. Shoots it in off Larionov, and back for the Soviets. That's Konstantinov, defenseman. Marois collects it at the blue line, takes a shot. It deflected over top of the net. Fetisov out to the line and past the leg there of Trevor Steinberg, and out at center ice, and Gillis has it. He brings it right back in again. Gillis trying to get around the defense, and he knocked the Soviet forward over. That was Konstantinov. Puck went loose in the center ice. Now Krutov back in again. Krutov backed up against the boards on the far side. Fetisov, Gusarov clearing it wide of the net. Peter Stastny gets it from Bob Mason, and behind the net. Quebec starting out once again. Jeff Brown through center ice. It's stopped there. Brown gets it again. Shoots it over the line offside. Peter Stastny was trapped inside the blue line. Kasatonov's back there to pick it up. He just leaves it off. Gusarov now clearing it out to center ice. And the Soviets with Homotov over the line. Homotov cutting into the slot area. Homotov then threw it to an open wing as Kamensky had ducked away from the area where Homotov expected him to be. Now Kamensky gets it again inside the line. Now getting set in front of the net. He shoots it right on. Rebound. Long rebound. Here's another shot over top of the net. That second shot taken by Kasatonov, who has that big booming shot. Up along the boards now. Moeller's there. He managed to poke it out to center ice with an assist from Peter Stastny, and back inside his own zone. That's Gusarov. Gusarov through center ice now drops it off. Moving ahead is Homolev. Homolev to the line now, trying to circle the defense. He's still got that puck as he ducked past Lysyshyn. Now behind the net. Homolev is knocked to the ice. And the Nordiques at center ice. Yarby throwing it past Sakic to the far side. Soviets changing at the bench. That's Diakin. And Nordiques, Yarby unable to get loose. Lysyshyn back in his own zone. He throws it right onto the stick of a hard-checking Soviet team as Nemchinov shoots it to the side of the net. Yarby again will try. Out along the boards is Huff, backhanding it off the boards. At center ice, Nemchinov. Leaving it for Homolev. Back out near the line for Diakin. Still kept inside the blue line. Konstantinov now as the Soviets make another change. We're still having a whistle in this game. At center ice, Konstantinov. The puck went loose. Davidov's over the line, but he threw it right into the slot area. And right back from the Nordiques. Jackson trying to clear it to Marois, who took a good, solid hit from Konstantinov. Now behind the net. Konstantinov back there to get it. Out in front. It rolls loose. Here's Marois. Shot.
Shooting the puck, but the key here is going to be the screen in front of the net by Podubny. Here the puck comes back. Marois gets it. The goaltender, Melnikov, is down, and it goes over his left shoulder. Here's looking from behind. Melnikov just did not get a good look at it. If you wanted excitement, if you were going to open a series, just look at the last 4 minutes, almost 3.5 minutes of hockey that we've just had here, Ron. It's just been going end to end.
Well, it took 3 minutes and 14 seconds for the first whistle, and that was a goal. Mawa picking up the goal. Says the Soviets don't hit. How about that body check that was thrown right in front of the net, or right at the blue line, rather?
That was Kasatonov, and he was probably getting back because Paul Gillis had clotheslined him on the first shift, and he's 20 years old, so he's just getting his feet wet here in a hurry.
Now the Nordiques again with Gillis getting a chance in the slot area, and the puck is shot wide as he seemed to shank it a bit. Now Gillis in the corner. Cote's working with him. Around behind the net for Steinberg. Steinberg trying to get it to the line, but it's intercepted by Makarov, who managed to ease it out over the line. With Cote now then brings it in with Gillis trapped inside the blue line. It's 1-0. The Nordiques lead the Soviets. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. There's our goal scorer Mario Marwa from Anton Stasny and Jeff Jackson at 3:14. 1-0. Nordiques leading. Puck is cleared around the boards. Del Goulet moving in, but he is tied up on the play by Kasatonov, and here comes Makarov now out at center ice. Working it ahead. Kusarov to the line. Here's his shot. That's off the blocker of Mason into the corner. Makarov's in there. Lasishin also takes him out of the play. Bobby Dulles on this side now. Love lying loose on the ice in the corner in the Nordic zone as Lasishin carries that puck behind his own net. Lasishin coming out to Shane. Out in the center ice, intended for Peter Stastny. It was deflected away, and Larionov has it. Larionov dropping it back. Kasatonov ahead at center ice. Larionov now. Trailing on the play is Kamensky, and they try to ease it in front to Larionov, but he was unable to reach it in the slot. It was deflected away by the defense. Here's Makarov to Larionov, and he drops it off. The long drifting shot is taken by Malakov, and Dulles has it. Behind his net. Into the corner it goes. Nordiques bringing it out now. Right at the line for the Soviets. That's Malakov again. Over the line, that pass by Kamensky went astray. Wide of the net. Kamensky in the corner now. Reaching for it, but again he's beaten to the puck by Finn, who clears it down the ice into the Soviet zone. No icing on the play as Stelnov goes back. Behind his own net with Huff forechecking. Malahov. Humilev at center ice. Gives it there for Stelnov, who tried a shot. It's deflected into the corner. Mason's out of the net. Leaves it for Marwa. He clears it around the boards, but Homotov smelled that one out. Intercepted along the boards. Now Finn up there, trying to get it out in front. Working for it is Bekov. Bekov to the line. Fetisov on this side. Konstantinov, but he's ridden off the puck by Yarby. Now behind the net, Homotov with Sakic in on top of him. Reaching for it, Bekov. Bekov digging for it. But again, Sakic backhands it along the boards. Good forechecking by the Soviets as Yarby feeds it off now. Out comes the Nordiques with Finn at center ice, but again, the puck is collected by the Soviets. Deep in his own zone, the team captain for the Soviets, Vyacheslav Fetisov. Ahead at center ice, cleared into the Nordiques zone again, and cleared through center ice. Now Podubny took it offside over two lines. And with the Nordiques leading the Central Army 1-0, this is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Now take a look at the goal once again. Behind the net view of it. Good screenshot, Brad.
Oh, that's what Melnikov was looking at. He didn't see anything. He had the forward going out trying to block the shot, and because of that, he couldn't pick the puck up right away as it came off Maraw's stick. So he was going down to cover as much stuff low as he could. But as he was down, that puck just drifted over his right shoulder.
From the face-off, puck flipped into the Soviet zone by Podubny. Back there for the Soviets is Gusarov. And he comes away with it at center ice, and he threw it wide. The intended receiver of that pass was number 25, Biakin. Now inside the line, Anton Stasny. Out to Jackson at center ice. Jackson working it to the line. Stasny moving in. He got past one man, fights his way past another. Here's Podubny now. He's dangerous around the net. Podubny behind the net for Jeff Jackson. Jackson had it stolen from him, and the puck is bounced out to center ice, relayed by Humilev out there. And again, the Nordiques will try. At center ice, Podubny just easing it into the Soviet zone. Malakov behind his own net, leaves it off there. dangerously checked away in front of the net by Duchesne, and it's out to center ice again. Duchesne, a good forechecker. Inside his own zone, that's Gusarov. He just leaves it off and heads for the bench as Malahov sends it into the corner and gets a return pass in the corner on this side. Davidov, he's number 11, clears it out to the point, but it's kept in there by Lysyshyn. Behind the net, Peter Stastny. Stastny poking away at it. Also in there for the Soviets is Chenik. And finally it's poked free. Duchesne out near the line now. Lysyshyn shot right on. Now at the side of the net. Duchesne, Goulet out to Lysyshyn again. Lysyshyn clearing it in front. Right to ease it in front. Peter Stastny knocked out. 8-4 Duchesne. There would have been a penalty. But the goal is scored. Here's Ben Duchesne.
Even the Central Army makes mistakes in their own end. Look in the corner, there's Duchesne. Boy, keep your eye, he's going to come out on the left side of your screen here. He was picked up early, but he drifts it right between the legs of Milnikov. He was picked up early, but mistakes can get made in this game at any level. And there's an example. Here he comes, he looked for that hole, and Milnikov only gave him about 6 or 8 inches, and Duchesne made no mistake putting it between his legs.
Peter Stastny will draw an assist, 7:53 at the time of the goal, along with Curtis Lysyshyn, who quickly shot from the point. 2-0. Nordiques leading. 7:53 the time of the goal. Here come the Soviets once again. Makarov trying to fight his way through the defense. Côté has it. Côté shooting it out to center ice. Catching up to it is Gillis, but cutting across was Konstantinov. And he managed to poke it away and at least allow the forwards to come back. Again, the Nordiques. Ferocious forechecking. Doing a good job inside the Soviet zone. Once again, it's Konstantinov getting it out to center ice. Konstantinov gets the return pass from Kasatonov. He is knocked down. Marwaz's got it inside his zone. Marwaz, far side. Côté can't hold it at center ice. Fetisov off the board, goes by everyone. Now Yarby moving in. He ducks around the defense. His Larionov moved on him. Now in the corner. Sakic out in front. Yarby, quick shot on his knees as Melnikov, and he holds on. 2-0. Nordiques lead the Central Army of Moscow. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Kane gets the goal from Peter Stastny and Curtis Lysyshyn. Another behind the net look at it.
Oh, this is a great angle. Watch Peter Stastny in front here. The puck hits him on the skate, but he keeps it in front of him, trying to get his balance. He's hauled down, but here comes Duchesne out of the corner with a little backhand between Milnikov's legs.
Backhand's tough because the goaltender doesn't know exactly where that hasn't got a good angle on where the puck is going to go off the stick.
Well, especially because the guy's coming across the front of the net with that kind of speed. There's no way a goaltender, if he's out at all, can move across as quickly as a guy in full stride.
Sakic facing off against Bekov behind the net. Keeping it in there at Yarby, but battle along the boards near the line. Moeller also there. Yarby finally has to collect it out at center ice. Gives it to Up. The Nordiques organized to Moeller just inside his own line. He elects to bounce it off the boards out to center ice. Homotov's out there. He's number 15 for the Soviets. Sakic tried to hit the line, and Bekov cleared it out. Moeller inside his own line now. Bekov over for Gusarov. Bekov is number 19. Brown checks him. Out along the boards it comes. Where's Kasatonov there? Take a shot that deflected wide of the net. Homotov in the corner. Moeller out along the boards for Yarby, but it's kept in now. Kamensky, good shot, good save, and Homotov looking for the rebound. Couldn't control it, and it's out to center ice. Good save there by Bob Mason.
Good concentration by Mason because he knew the puck was going to get deflected, but he just stayed with it, did his job. He made the save when he had to.
That's Kasatonov down beside his own net. Ahead at center ice. Diakin to the line, and Lysyshyn alertly just played the man, let the puck slide through to Mason. Jackson up along the boards, clears it out to center ice. Stelnov is there, number 21 for the Soviets. Ahead, number 25 there is Diakin. He drops the puck off for Nemchinov, and again, the Nordiques come back. as Podobny shoots it to the wing and then goes and gets it himself. He's tied up on the play by Stelnov. And again, the Soviets starting out with Biakin. Biakin at center ice. Humilev, 31, clearing it in. Mason is out of the net. Up along the boards for Marwa, who gets it out to center ice, and Konstantinov, who plays now with Fetisov. That's a defensive pairing. Fetisov will go back behind his own net. Big fella feeds it up along the boards now. Chernik trying to get the return pass, and a man is hauled down as Davidoff was going to the net. He was hauled down, and there'll be an interference call, and the first penalty of the game comes at the 11:09 mark. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Davidoff had a jump on Mario Marwa, and Marwa had nothing to do here, Brad, but draw the penalty.
Well, it's kind of the play of defense. You got to make up your mind. You let them go and look bad at center ice. You take the penalty, and maybe within 2 minutes they're not going to get a goal. Mario Marwa definitely caught flat-footed, totally out of the play, just stuck his leg out. A good call by Ronald. There's Viktor Tikhonov. You think things are different in each country? We were asking Tikhonov today about what kind of problems you have coaching. He says, well, the Red Army's so strong, so if we win, right, no one can ever beat the Red Army, but then if we lose, everybody wants to know what happened.
It's the old business of heads I win, tails you lose.
We're with you, win or tie.
Yeah. Puck is cleared down as we're on a power play right now, and the Soviets unable to control it inside the zone. Fetisov gets it back inside his own zone. Fetisov ahead. That was intended for Larionov, and it's drifted right back into the Soviet zone again. That's Milnikov playing it to his defense. All right, here they come again. Krutov now at center ice. Krutov over the line. Krutov still controlling that puck as he cuts to this side up against the boards. They've got Kasatonov working the point now along with Fetisov. Fetisov will one-time it, and the shot is deflected over top of the net. Rebound, out in front, and did it go in? Yes! And give them a tremendous amount of credit for rallying a puck that was bouncing crazily in front of the net, and they got it into the net.
What a big play in front of the net. Watch the shot here, gets deflected over the net. Keep your eye in the slot areas. The puck comes bouncing up. There's Larionov just redirecting it to Krutov. Didn't even think about shooting. That shows you what kind of poise that guy is a player. Watch it come in here. He just redirects over to Krutov, off the post, hits Mason's stick, and goes up on the top of the net. They go in every which way you want.
Krutov scoring at 12:09. Larionov and Fetisov, familiar names in on that goal, and the Central Army takes advantage in a minute. Exactly. Of the penalty to Mario Marwa. 2-1, Nordiques lead. On the face-off, Moeller up against the boards along with Zelapukin, another rookie on this Central Army team. Behind the net, Davidoff. Davidoff rolls it in front of the net. That's kept in. Davidoff again, but he was tied up from behind neatly by Hopp, who took the easy way and just got it out over the line before he got in further difficulty. Inside his own blue line, Kasatonov backhanding it off the boards. Bekov to Kasatonov to Bekov. Out at center ice now. It's around one man. Got the pass away inadvertently to Homotov, who cleared it in, and Moeller then clears it right back out to center ice. Right past Kasatonov. He'll go back deep in his own zone for it. Stelnov working with him on defense right now as Kasatonov eases it out to center ice for Bekov. Bekov trying to get it to Homotov, who's unable to get loose. Now they hit the line with it. Bekov clearing it inside the line, but the Nordiques again get it back out to center ice. Finn going after it up along the boards. Bumps Bekov right in front of the Nordiques bench. Bekov kicks it free. Here's Homotov. Homotov backing over the line now. Homotov working in front of the net. Great move, and he is knocked down just as he tried to get the shot away. And it was Peter Stastny who was there to clear it out of harm's way. Up against the boards, Kamensky. Kamensky getting set, shoots it right on off the stick of Mason. Deflected into the corner on this side. There's going to be a penalty to the Nordiques as Duchesne got the puck up along the boards, and there's going to be an interference call. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series feed.
This
as we get an opportunity here to see the penalty and interference call on Stephen Finn right there. And we haven't had much of an opportunity. No whistles in this one to get you into our play-by-play description of the game, but it's been quite a fast-moving period.
Well, Ron, what you have to do, of course, is stay with the Soviets in the first period, get the jump on them then, and they have a really much reworked lineup now. I don't think we've talked much about the 6 kids that normally play in this team are now at the junior tournament.
That's right, up in Anchorage, Alaska. There's some good ones up there, too. Mogilny, who we saw in the Olympics, as we see him outside at the line, is up there, and a young kid named Bure. There's Duchesne, who's got a goal in this game. The goal scorers, Marwa and Duchesne, made it 2-0, and then Krutov on a power play has made it 2-1. That's in the NHL. It doesn't quite work out that way when you're playing the Soviet Union with a power play they can put on the ice.
Well, the Soviet Union right now is 1-for-1 on the power play, so they're batting 1,000. But it's a long game.
And Fetisov out there. They had Kasatonov working the point with Fetisov, the only time they've been together so far in the hockey game. And again, in the league, they don't play together. And they're not together at this particular moment as it comes out to the blue line now. Kept in there by Konstantinov. His shot's deflected wide. In the corner, that's Biakin now. Out to the blue line, Konstantinov. Over for Humalev. Humalev, number 31. Back out to Fetisov. Notice they reversed their defenseman. There's a shot deflected wide of the net. And that, of course, to get the right shot on the left point. Now Konstantinov again. There's a crisscross, both Fetisov and Konstantinov. Here's Fetisov. Shot deflects, scores! Deflected off a Nordic player in front of the net, and 2 power plays, 2 goals. Humalev may have deflected it in front. We'll have to take a look at the replay on this one, but a good shot low to the ice taken by number 2, Vyacheslav Fetisov.
Bottom of your screen. No, it wasn't deflected. It was deflected by the Nordiques defenseman in front of the net. But sometimes you say that's a low percentage shot from the point. Here's Fetisov. There's nobody in his way other than the Quebec's defenseman's stick, and he redirects the puck between the legs of Bob Mason. Good low shot. I think Fetisov was going for the deflection, but he got it, but the wrong guy.
Well, Fetisov, who at one point earlier this summer was ticketed for the New Jersey Devils, but somehow never arrived. It'll be interesting to see the reception the New Jersey fans have for him. That'll be one of our telecasts a little later on in the series. And that whole business of Fetisov going to the Jersey Devils is not over with, according to his coach this afternoon. We talked with Viktor Tikhonov, and he said, no, he's still negotiating in that whole deal. Kasatonov going for it, back in his own zone. Anton Stasny forechecking as Gusarov now picks it up. Out for Dulles. 2-2 tie here. Dulles off the boards for Lysyshyn. Podubny couldn't reach that pass. And Dulles gets it again. Lysyshyn. Center ice for Jackson. Intercepted. Right back now the Soviets with Makarov. Over the line. Kamensky. Now Larionov out in front of the net. Here's a shot deflected. They score. Picked out of mid-air by Kamensky. As Kasatonov took the shot, and very quickly here, the Soviets have taken the lead.
Well, it's usually the guys without the puck. Here's Howard Kamensky. Watch to the left of your screen by the net. Here's the puck coming out. And look at Kasatonov. You think he's hanging out by the blue line? No, there's nobody out there. He's getting himself open, and he puts it up about waist high. And real quick hands by Kamensky as he just redirects it. And normally a defense would not be in that deep, except he's got an awful lot of confidence. It was a great bing-bing play.
Brad, now tell me that. Was that a planned play up that high? You'd like to keep a shot. You expect to be deflected a little closer to the ice, but does he have that kind of faith in Kamensky?
I would think he's throwing it for that side of the net and probably trying to airmail, but he was hurried. He probably got up a little higher than he wanted to. But if it was a slap shot, he wasn't doing that kind of play. But a wrist shot, I'll give him a little bit of credit.
And give Kamensky some credit, too. And by the way, Kamensky likes this building, I think. You might remember the performance he put on back in Rendezvous, 2 second-period goals and then a third-period assist as the Soviets gained the split in the Rendezvous series here a couple of years ago. By the way, Kamensky was also drafted by Quebec back in the 8th round of the 1988 draft. Well, 3-2, the Soviets leading now as Peter Stosny takes a quick shot just wide of the far post. Puck bounces out to center ice. Goulet out there, being checked rather closely by Davidoff. And again, Duchesne dropping for Peter Stosny. Stosny shooting it rink wide. Nobody there. Fetisov then ducks away from a check. It's clear to the line, but not out. Now here they come. Out at center ice, Kamensky trying to fight his way past Jeff Brown, and he couldn't get by him. A great diving stop there by Brown, who saved a lot of embarrassment because he was the one that was caught on the play. Now Kamensky once again. It's had a pretty good shift. Kamensky clearing it right onto the stick of Bekov. There's a shot wide of the net. Konstantinov moving in deep from the point position, rolls it in front, hits the netting at the side of the net, and the defense covers up with Moeller, sending it out to center ice. Warhoff stepping out of his net is Milnikov. Out at center ice, Kamensky again, still out there. Kamensky working the puck free to Homotov. We've got 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the first period. 3-2. Central Army leading as pass by Fetisov. Good forechecking there by Sakic. Now Fetisov again in the center ice zone. He's in over the line now. Fetisov backhanding it. That is Komolev, number 31. Puck is cleared out to center ice, and Gusarov will go back in his own zone. Gusarov dropping it off for Byakin. Byakin ahead for Komolev. Sakic shoots! Sakic stealing that loose puck and getting a quick shot away. Center ice now. Soviets again. And they control it now as Gusarov gets it in over the line. Finn bangs it off the boards. Kasatonov, number 6. Gusarov, link wide. Yemchinov. He's double teamed in there by Cote and Finn comes away with the puck. Finn ahead. Gillis at center ice. Makarov. Gusarov being tied up by Cote, moving in to help out is Steinberg. Steinberg out in front. There's a chip shot that went wide of the net by Gillis. Makarov. Less than a minute remaining in the period now as Makarov starts out for the Soviets. Makarov to his own line, and he cleared it right off the skate of Goulet, and there's a too many men on the ice call. The Soviets will be caught for too many men. They're leading the game 3-2. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Brad, if there's ever a guy who is the stereotypical stoic Russian, it's Vladimir Krutov. Well, you hate stereotypes, but there's a guy who just seems to take an immense amount of punishment while playing the game. He's taken a stick under the eye there by the looks of it and been cut. But he just keeps on playing, and his game never changes. He is
great skills,
a tremendous player.
Short, stocky, tremendous strength, great skating ability, just kind of, tremendous upper body strength, and can do it all. He is kind of an unsung hero. I think other guys are flashier, but day in and day out, I like that guy.
Puck is inside the line. Now the Nordiques have a power play going. 30 seconds remaining in the period. Podubny behind the net. Now Goulet out in front. Now Sakic shoots it right on. And a save by Milnikov, and he holds on.
Well, they say power plays can turn a game around. We've seen that late in the first period with Quebec taking a 2-0 lead. And then back-to-back penalties have cost the Nordiques a tie, and the momentum changed. But here's Joe Sakic getting into the slot, just ripping a wrist shot, getting it through and getting it on the net. A good play by the young guy. He's moving out. He's kind of like a point man, and he's got to get that shot there on the net. It's more important sometimes than trying to pick corners when you're shooting from the point.
On the face-off now, Sakic couldn't hold it in at the blue line, so they have to reorganize as Jeff Brown gets it. Far side. Goulet moves in. It's a bit of a pass, and then Peter Stosny into the corner. Podubny's there. So is Goulet. Well, this Nordic team can put some scoring power on the ice. Here's Peter Stosny now. Back out, hits the linesman, and the whistle goes, and the first period is over. And in the period, the Soviets outshot the Nordiques 8-5, but in the period also, the Soviets outscored the Nordiques 3-2. So it's Soviets 3, Nordiques 2. This is CTV's NHL Soviet Super Series.
obviously a time of turmoil in the Nordiques over the past few months. We had an a few moments left about the hockey team. It has been a time of turmoil. Has the club settled down? Are the players back on an even keel and thinking about playing hockey again?
Yes, I think with John Perron, I like Ron LaPointe. I have nothing against him. But what happens when you start to lose? I went through it in Toronto. When you start to lose, what happens is players start to lose confidence in one another as well as themselves, and everybody starts pointing fingers, and you get a snowball effect. And I think, it got to that point, and it was not Ron's fault or anybody's fault. I mean, we have the same players here now, but maybe the new face, John Perron, has been a breath of fresh air for us.
You've fallen behind this hockey game. You haven't lost hope yet, have you?
Oh, no. I mean, we just try to figure out how to play them first, and then we're going to go from here.
Well, best of luck. Thanks very much.
Okay, thanks. Let me say just Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody back in Thunder Bay. Thanks, Dan.
Well, Thunder Bay and all the small towns all across.
They're all watching.
The big ones, too. Thanks very much. Well, we'll go back and play some hockey. Score is 3-2 after the first period of play. We're going to reminisce about 1972 when we come back at Brad Park. Central Army of the Soviet Union against the NHL's Quebec Nordiques. Someone who knows more than a little bit about Soviet hockey, Brad Park. Brad played in that Supersérie way back in 1972. And this time of year, Brad, we look at the Soviets, we look back over that period of time. Maybe some of your memories about that series.
You do have a lot of memories, and anytime you go back to the first series between two teams, it really heightens. 1972, I remember it like yesterday. It was September 2nd in the Montreal Forum. We had all the big people there. This was the clash of the two titans of hockey. It was only 30 seconds into the first period when Phil Esposito put us on the board to be up 1-0. It was a great goal. Espo was a dominant player in the series. But by the end of the first period, we knew, and I knew for sure, that they were coming at us in waves. And it was in the second period that two great goals by Valery Karmelov had put them ahead 4-2. From then they cakewalked, and by the end of the game, our heads were down, and we lost 7-3. Our armor had been crushed. Toronto was a different game. We had to bounce back, and we knew that. Ivan Kornwai breaking down the right wing scores the eventual game winner. We had changed our defense. We had changed some of our forwards. We had gone out with a new concept, and we had to go out and attack. We had to regain our stature in game two, and as hard as we played, it was inspirational plays by certain players at certain times. For example, Peter Mahovich on this one-on-one against the Soviets was the clincher in this game. Game 3 in Winnipeg ended up in a 4-4 tie. We were not dominating like we thought we would, but we had to go back to Vancouver for game number 4. This was where we were supposed to take control, but two quick goals in the first period by the Soviets and by number 13, Boris Mikhailov, led them to an early lead, and they went from there. By the time that the game was over in Vancouver, we were a very frustrated hockey game. They had dominated, they had taken the game from us in our country, and we felt like this.
I'm really disappointed. I am completely disappointed. I cannot believe it. Some of our guys are really, really down in the dumps. We know we're trying, but hell, I mean, we're doing the best we can, and they got a good team, and let's face facts. But it doesn't mean that we're not giving it 150%, because we certainly are.
We've been beaten in our own game in our own country, and we left for Moscow. So, by Vikolov makes it a 5-4 game. We have now won one game, lost 3, and tied 1. We cannot afford to lose another game. But the magic of Paul Henderson just begins. This is game number 6. Henderson with a long shot beats Tretiak, and now that is the game winner. We have now won our second game, and we know that we have to play it period by period. Game 7, Henderson does his magic again and leaves us with an all-or-nothing game in game 8. In the second period, John Rattel puts me in, ties the game at 2-2. Part of my memory that I'll never forget was this game. At the end of the second period, the Soviets had gotten 2 goals, and they had made it a 5-3 game. This goal here by Vasiliev makes it 5-3, and we know that we're going into the last period down 2 goals. in the dressing room between the periods were told that if we do tie the game, it's not enough because the Soviets are going to realize that they have more goals in the series. But we fight back. This goal by Cornwallis late in the third period makes the game tied at 5-5. How do you explain it? Coming from 3 games back, but late in the game, Paul Henderson gets on the ice. He puts himself on the ice. SB0 to Henderson. 34 seconds to go. Team Canada has won the series of the Titans. An exciting time, and me, just a 24-year-old kid, within some memories. But when I look back now, I think of what we went through, what it meant to Canada as a nation. I won't forget.
Years ago, Brad, you played against them. How have they changed over the years?
Well, they're still darn good hockey players. They can do the finesse, the skill that these guys have, and they really work on it. So you've got an all-star team. Every one of them can play, and the way they handle the puck, and they take such advantage of the power play. The power play killed us in '72, and it's doing tonight.
Mm-hmm. They've not been North Americanized yet.
Oh, they have. They have. They're a lot more physical now than they ever were.
We have a couple periods yet to play. 3-2. The Army leads, and we'll be set for the second period in just a moment.
Well, after one period of play, the Central Army of Moscow leads the Quebec Nordiques 3-2. There you see your goal scorers. Mario Melwa scoring from Anton Stastny and Jeff Jackson at 3:14, and then Etienne Duchesne from Peter Stastny and Curtis Lasishin at 7:53. Then a couple of power play goals brought the Central Army back into the game. Krutov from Fetisov and Larionov. That was while Melwa was off the ice. And then when Stephen Finn picked up a high sticking penalty, Fetisov scored unassisted at 14:49. Kamensky then from Kasatonov, the go-ahead goal. Central Army 3, Quebec 2. Shots on goal. The Army outshot the Nordiques 8-5. So we're about set to go here in the second period at the Colisée de Québec. As you look at the starting goaltender for the Soviets, Milnikov. And Bob Mason in goal for the Nordiques. Peter Stastny will face off against Igor Larionov, who wins the face-off cleanly. Gets it back to Fetisov. Forechecking is Goulet. Really cost them there as Podobny tried to relay it back to Goulet. Puck is cleared over the glass and into the crowd. And we'll get a face-off near the Nordics blue line. Viktor Tikhonov, 11 seasons as coach of the Soviet national team, the various select teams, and of course he is also the coach of the Central Army. And the second fellow standing back there is Boris Mikhailov. You remember him. Mikhailov, Petrov, and Harlamov, one of the great Soviet lines back in that Soviet series that Brad Park so graphically described for us. Here's Brown shooting it in. Out at center ice, Brown's got it once again. There's rink wide. And Brown picking it up. Now he's going to bring it through center ice. Brown mishandled it as he hit the line. Makarov gets it back out to the line. And the whistle goes. I believe on an offside that I didn't see. Fetisov. Now they're calling an offside. There you see Fetisov. Here's Fetisov's goal. As we mentioned in the play-by-play, this is deflected by a Nordiques defenseman, Jeff Brown, out in front. That's an unassisted goal.
There's really not much a goaltender can do on a goal like that. He's already thrown, Bob Mason's already thrown his left pad out to handle the shot, and the puck just got redirected.
That's the go-ahead goal in this game as Jeff Brown circles at center ice. Brown backing up, tried to feed it off it was deflected off a stick. Larionov inside the zone now. Puck is deflected in front of the net and steered away by Milnikov along the boards to the far side. Still kept in. Penalty is now over. Shot right in front of the net. Up near the blue line, 26 is Peter Stastny. Along beside the net as the Nordiques continue the pressure. Stastny getting it out in front. Brown shoots wide, and I just hooked it wide. Now Fetisov up against the boards. Goulet is in there as well. Out in front. Quick shot. Rebound. They shoot again. Wide of the net. Peter Stastny with a couple of good opportunities. Then Goulet got it out in front. And Kamensky brings it away. Rink wide, Makarov over the line. Now Makarov looking for Kamensky, but he gets the rink wide. There's a shot from a bad angle. That one taken by Larionov. Behind the net, Kamensky battling back there with Marwa. Kamensky still battling. Puck is poked free, and Podobny has it and clears it to center ice. Racing after it for the Nordiques is Huff. He gets in over the line. Malahov out now. Here's Yarby taking a shot. Bad angle on a backhand. In there checking now is Nemchinov. Here's a quick backhand shot. That one taken by Sakic. Up along the boards, Huff. He takes a good solid hit by Malahov. Out at center ice once again, Biakin. Biakin just beating it off to Stelnov. Stelnov over the line, ducks away from a check. Now it's back to Biakin behind the net. Biakin clearing it into the slot, and it's deflected away by the Nordiques defense. Still inside the zone. Biakin. Bowler. Behind his net, Bowler into the corner, and the Nordiques pick it up with Finn clearing it down the ice, and going back deep for it is Gusarov, picks it up, and is called on the icing. This is the NHL Super Series on CTV. Peter Stastny has had 7 100-point seasons in the NHL. Here's a good example of why.
Peter Stastny is such a strong guy. He got taken down very, very quickly there. But one of the things that he does so well is move the puck in around the net, over sticks, under sticks, between feet. And he's got a real knack like that. And a lot of times he'll force that play, but in that situation, he was in the right place at the right time. It was good scoring.
There's a quick shot in front of the Nordiques net. And the Nordiques come away with it now. Out at center ice is Trevor Steinberg. To the line now. Cody got the jump at the line, but got away with it. Puck is wide of the net now. Dulles keeping it in. Steinberg moves in. Cody's got it. Cody out in front. There's a quick shot by Gillis. Now behind the net. Kasatonov just dumping it off. In the corner, Gusarov. Ahead at center ice, trying to knock it down is Beckhoff, and he's got it over the line now with a little room, trying to beat it through the slot area for Homotop, who was breaking up the middle. Puck wound up coming back to Bob Mason, who covered it up, then let it go and gives it to Cody. He clears it out to center ice. It'll go all the way down the ice. Gusarov going back for it. No icing on the play. Milnikov leaves it for Gusarov, who clears it up ice. Beckhoff couldn't contain it. Now he's got it. Beckhoff dropping it off. Here's Fetisov. Took a shot. It's deflected away by the defense at center ice once again for the Nordiques. It's cleared down into the Soviet zone. Back there, Podobny fighting off Fetisov. Podobny gets it into the slot. Anton Stastny shoots it. Hit the post. Moeller at the blue line. Gets it in now. Podobny up against the boards. Brown can't hold it. Now Beckhoff. Beckhoff behind the net. Fetisov. Fetisov just standing there. Tremendous tempo to this game, Brad.
They are. They're moving up and down. I think the Soviets took about the first 5 minutes to get their legs, but they've been flying. Quebec is playing a little more cautious. They're not trying not to turn it over in center ice. So you'll see them dumping into the Soviet end a lot. Just as a precautionary measure, try not to force some plays.
Fetisov just inside his line. Podobny moves up on the puck, but it's deflected out to center ice by Larionov. Larionov then forced back. Fetisov near his line, backhands it up through center again for Kamensky. Kamensky dropping it for Larionov. Larionov unable to control it against the checking of Anton Stastny. Stastny gets it again for Fetisov. Drops it off. Podobny neat play. Shot. The shoulder of Milnikov. Now behind the net. The Nordics playing well. There's a shot made at the shoots it again. It's in the slot and in the goal crease. And Milnikov covers up. Anton Stastny had the tying goal on his stick and couldn't get it in. 3-2. Soviets lead. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Well, the Stastny brothers were very much involved. First of all, Stastny the elder, Peter, with a great chance in front of the net, and that one rang off the goal post.
Great shot.
Then Stastny the younger, Anton Stastny, number 20.
Well, why keep your eye on play again? Here's the one chance. Now watch it come back out. I think he just lost it. I wasn't sure they were trying to just slide it through some feet or bury it, but I think he wanted to pull it that went off the end of the stick instead of maybe he didn't know how much time he had. And it was just one of those plays that was so close yet so far.
Peter Stastny behind the net, but he's chased off the puck behind. Now the Soviets will start out as Makarov brings it to center ice. Leads it over the line, but it's whacked right off the boards and back out past Kamensky. Soviets have it inside the zone as Kamensky comes back. Kamensky, have we seen Krutov in this period, Brad? I don't think we have. I think we've seen a lineup change here as Kamensky's on that line now.
No, Krutov hasn't been here. I think he may have got some stitches between the periods, but we haven't seen him out yet.
Maybe we'll look for him on the bench as Larionov is out there now with Makarov and Kamensky. That's the line. Puck is clear to center ice. Stephen Finn's got it there. Finn back near his own line, drops it off for Marwa. Marwa clearing it off the boards, taking the good safe pass to get rid of the forechecking Soviets. Now Marwa, Finn, off the board, back deep in his own zone. Now Gusarov for the Soviets. Now forechecking is Goulet. He gets the pass away. Work it up to the line, but they don't get very far with it. It's stopped back inside the line. Nordiques just get it back out again. That was Dulles who got it out this time. Dulles has got it again inside his own blue line. And again, he shoots it out to center ice. Hupp has got it. Hupp over the line. Sakic trying to find some room. Now to Hupp. Hupp rolling it past for Yarby. Yarby was tied up as he went for the net. Now Dulles is at center ice, waiting for mates to get onside. Rattles it off the glass and inside the Soviet end. Gusarov's back there being forechecked. Puck is put out to center ice, and Dulles will go back into his own zone for it as the Soviets make a change. Dulles from behind his net. Waiting there as the Soviets move to forecheck. Biakin's number 25. He heads for the benches. The Nordiques come to center ice. Knocked down near the line by Kasatonov. And the Soviets back in over the line with Bekov trying to feed it through now. That's Kamensky. Kamensky behind the net, but he's tied up on the play. Stopping at the side is Homotov. Homotov trying to get it in front. Rolls in front. Turning his back to the play and unable to see that pass with Bekov. And is back near the line. Kasatonov. Off the boards for Homotov. Homotov being checked by Lusishin. Behind the net. Kamensky out in front. Quick shot. What a save there made on a shot by Bekov. Out to center ice it goes, and it clears the glass, and we'll have a face-off. 3-2, Soviets lead. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. It's not our CTV makeup person who did that job on Krutov. It was somebody's stick, I think, Brad. Doesn't look too pretty, does it?
No, that's a little bit more than a mouse.
I'll see this one tomorrow. He has not played in this period. Back inside the line, Konstantinov, checked by Anton Stasny. I just had to see some bodies fly here now. There's 3 body checks all in a row as Moeller stepped into somebody as well at center ice. Davidov trying to get loose. Good stick handling as he gets in over the line. Now Davidov still has that puck under pressure from Moeller. Still with the puck. Davidov is slammed and knocked off by Jackson, and out come the Nordiques. Here's Moeller. Moeller dropping it off. Brown getting set. Throws it into the slot, and it's deflected over top of the net on a shot by Podupny. Now up against the boards. Konstantinov out in front. Here's Jackson. Loose in front. A quick shot by Podupny. He's fallen to the ice. And Milnikov covers up. Good action in front of the net. Some pretty good hockey going on here, Brad.
Lots of excitement at both ends of the ice. A great display of some stick handling. But look at his chance in front. Watch Podupny stay with his puck. The one thing he did was keep his stick available. He tried to make sure he protected his stick so he couldn't get a hold of it. Here's another look by the side of the net. Here's Fetisov going after it. He kicks out in front. Now watch this good checking by the Nordiques as Podupny is mucking for the puck behind the net. Stasny picks it up, goes out to the point. Podupny goes to the front, and he gets a good scoring opportunity.
Good action around the net. There's Milnikov. Split the time at the Canada Cup, the last Canada Cup, with Bieloshakin, who is not here. As a matter of fact, there's not a Central Army goaltender here at all. Bieloshakin has run into that bugbear that Bieloshakin has been battling for a couple of years. There's one that rang off the post and then hit the post, I believe, on the other side. And we're going to get a penalty for interference called. One post and then the other. Larionov will be going. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Igor Larionov for interference at 8:19.
There's the face-off. Watch Steinberg shoot the puck to the net. Now watch Côté go to the net as it comes out the post. Watch the right pad.
Hit the
not
post.
beyond, hit the other post. Back-to-back post. Milnikov is hearing bells right now.
As they say, the bells are ringing. And again, here's the interference. That's a pretty good job.
Well, that's the way of tying your man up. That's what they say, those centermen are responsible for each other. And if you're the centerman in your end, you got to be responsible for your other centerman. Well, I think they might learn that trick in Calgary last year.
Nordiques are controlling this period. They have outshot the Soviets so far by 7-6. One-shot margin. They seem to have a territorial edge, at least so through the last 5 minutes of play. We've got almost 9 minutes gone in the period now. Here's a quick shot by Sakic, but he fanned on it. Puck is cleared out over the line and then poked away. Nordiques coming right back again. That was Jeff Brown who was trying to get loose. Sakic will come back and pick it up from Mason. Sakic starting out. Head for Goulet. Goulet checked on the play by Kasatonov. Kasatonov loses it, however, to Sakic. Podubny fighting off the check. Peter Stastny moves in to help out now. Stastny, as they set up, gets it to Sakic. Sakic to Brown. Brown one-time thing. Good save by Moldakov. Now it is Gusarov. Out to the blue line to center ice. Soviets trying to get loose now. Here's Kumulak playing it alone. Score! Short-handed goal.
One of the problems, Ron, when you end up putting a forward on defense, Joe Sakic gets beat at center ice, and here's Chernik going in. Look at his head up, and he just threads it through the legs of goaltender Bob Mason. Watch him, look at his head. He's not even looking at that puck. You gotta love somebody who's got that much control. That's the one thing the Soviets do so well. They never look at the puck. You can't see anybody else if you're looking at the puck.
Young Hovalev. Unassisted goal. I'm reminded when you see a play like that with the Soviets playing a Canadian team. 9:24 the time of the goal. 4-2 now. I'm reminded of Krutov eating up Guy Lafleur on a power play in the Canada Cup, second edition.
A very tough spot to put young Joe Shazak. You know, he's not a defenseman. I don't know if he played that position in junior, but he made a decision. The puck was in the air, and he took one step forward, and the Soviet got to it first. And then by that time, that forward motion, there was no way he was going to be able to recover.
Well, the biggest problem as we watch Fetisov killing off the penalty, the biggest problem, Brad, I think, is that forwards are not used to having players come at them. And correct me if I'm wrong, it becomes a difficult problem. You spent your whole life having people come at you, and you're not faked out too much.
Well, it takes time. There's very few forwards that can go back and really take that defensive position. It's something, if you're going to put a forward on the point, you got to spend a lot of time in practice, making them take those one-on-ones, making them take two-on-ones. You've got to give them that extra dimension. You've got to give them a look at it.
Now, the Soviets, you make a mistake, and you pay. 4-2 right now. The penalty has expired, and back to get it deep in his own zone is Makarov, number 7. Trying to get it ahead. It's relayed off the board and out to center ice where Sishin has it now, one of the fine young players on this Nordic team, to Stelnov, and he clears it back in again. Makarov ahead at center ice for Homotov. He clears it in. Moeller leaving it off. Sishin out to center ice for Paul Gillis to Côté now with a little skating room, and rolled off the end of his stick and back to cover up with Stelnov. Back out near the line for the Soviets, Homotov. Homotov clearing it back into his own zone, and Moeller will go back for it. In for checking number 19 there is Bekov. They clear it off the boards. And it's tapped out to center ice by Gillis. Relayed down into the Soviet zone by Côté. Steinberg's in there. Good check up against the boards on Gusarov. Côté in to help out, but also in there is Kasatonov. They jam up against the boards. And it's hoisted up along the boards, and the Soviets will start out once again. Selapukin. After it, Davidov. This is the fourth line for the Soviets. Now Gillis unloading it at center ice for Steinberg. Drifts a shot wide of the net. Kept in at the blue line by Jeff Brown. Selapukin is number 10 for the Soviets. Out for Kasatonov. Kasatonov with a big shot, and he drifted it just wide. I think Mason may have gotten a piece of that. Here we come again. Up, shooting it in. Back to get it is Fetisov. Fetisov unloading a pass for Gusarov. Gusarov at center ice now. Larionov to the line, drops it off. Larionov getting set. Here's the shot right on. That one taken by Davidov. Soviets keep it in as Davidov drove and stopped that. Now Makarov trying to get it out front. Kasatonov shot it just wide. Makarov deflected it off a back checker of the Nordiques and wound up getting it right on the stick. Now, again, coming back to check is Larionov at center ice spin, shooting it right back in again. Konstantinov at center ice, Larionov. Larionov getting it over the line now and moving after it is Makarov. Makarov. Peter Stastny picking up that loose puck. Finn. Stastny again, and we have a whistle, and I believe a penalty has been called in the center ice zone. 4-2, Central Army leads the Nordiques. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Milnikov and Mason, the goaltenders here at the Colisée in Quebec City. And here's the goal by Humalev, unassisted.
Let's look at him going in. Look at that, just picking that hole around Mason. Bob Mason had gone out. He was backing up, and he wasn't sure which way he was going, so he started to plant his feet and open up that 5-hole for him up, and he made no mistake.
Now Duchesne forechecking, but the puck comes to Malahov, one of the young defensemen for the Central Army. Moeller at center ice. He's checked on the play. Is moving up on it was Nemchinov. Now Humalev. And his backhanded pass Biakin. And at center ice to Shane once again. Gets in to Shane. Gets it again. Under a lot of traffic problems. Goulet then ahead for Peter Stastny to Duchesne. Duchesne over the line now. One hands the puck. Goulet moving in after it. Looking for that man in front. Good play. Another big save made by Milnikov. He's made a couple of good ones. He's had some posts going too.
He's got the post going, but you watch Milnikov, if we get a replay of this, he goes down. He's really concentrating on covering as much ice as he can with his pads. Watch, he's going to be going down. Here's the shot by Stastny. He's going to do the spread eagle. It's one of those goaltenders you're going to have a little bit of time in order to fake the shot, to get him down, to go upstairs. And that's the one thing that a good team like the Soviets aren't going to give you, is that time to fake that shot.
Milnikov, a veteran. He's one of 4 players over 30 years of age on this team. The others are Fetisov, Makarov, and Starikov, who we have not seen in this game.
We just had a look at Michel Goulet going to the dressing room limping. We'll wait to see if we can get a report on what's wrong with Michel.
Must have been in the aftermath of that play as players went to the ice. Here come the Soviets once again as Kamensky tried to get a shot in. Homotov's there in the corner. What a line this is. Now it's Bekov shooting it wide of the net. Jackson intercepted. Here we go. Homotov set, and Mason makes the save. Oh, the goaltenders are putting on a show. Anton Stastny to Podobny. He fights his way, trying to get past Kusarov, who played the man very well. Jackson moves in. Jackson knocked to the ice by Bekov, and Jackson appears to be hurt on the play, and they're calling for the trainer to come. Did he land on his shoulder?
No, I think he got hit Ron, by the boards. As he went into the boards, he got trapped, and looks like he took a hip right in on the hip. It looks like it may be a hip point. Watch this now. Watch the turn. There's the hip. Just pinches him into the boards. And you get down. I can tell you that hurts.
Hip pointer.
It looks like this might be a hip pointer, and that can be very painful. It can draw out a little while.
Things that are difficult to cure: hip pointers and groin injuries. 4-2, Soviets lead. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Well, I guess the only thing you can do sometimes is talk about it a little bit. Jeff Jackson's down in the hallway there. He's in a bit of pain. Here's Mason. Brad, goaltenders have really been good.
Well, this is where the goaltender's got to spread out. Bob Mason did a good job of doing that. He stayed right with that Soviet player as he came in. They tried to slip it through his legs. I think they've got 2 goals through his legs. Bob Mason knows that, and he closed him down in a hurry there.
Took it away from him. Puck is in the corner now. Yarby's there. Sakic up along the boards, and puck is cleared to center ice. 4-2 is the score. Soviets are leading. Kasatonov now getting it to Gusarov. Gusarov through center ice. This is Homotov over the line. Now this line can really motor. Homotov trying to get it in front. Good move made by Gusarov to cut into open ice. Now Homotov again trying to control it. Back out near the line, but Gusarov is caught. This is a 2-on-1. Yarby with Sakic. Yarby scores!
here's a look at Yarvy breaking out, blew over passing by the Soviets into Quebec end. Yarvy comes down. Now watch the defenseman. The defense is playing the pass, giving him the shot. Yarvy makes no mistake. It's been drilled by Melnikov.
Well, you can't, I don't think you can criticize Kasatonov on that play. He seemed to bottle up the middle. Goaltender's got to play the man.
Well, there's a fine line there because Yarvy's coming down. There's a left-hand shot coming down the right side. In one way, you want him, if he was farther over the boards, you'd let him shoot from over there because his angle's not as good. But when he's in the middle like that, Kasatonov could have forced him a little earlier, making the puck go to Sakic. That way the puck's on its way to Sakic. Milnikov's on his way to Sakic. Sakic's got the goaltender and the puck coming at the same time.
Yarvy unassisted at 14:59. We've got a one-goal hockey game again out at center ice. That's Davidoff. Knocked to the ice, lost his stick, got a new one. Now Goulet over the line, catching up with Peter Stastny. Stastny's all alone! And it's deflected away as Davidoff got in there, and he paid the price for that. Goulet! Shoots it! Goulet again! Behind the net now. Up against the boards. Finn keeping it in. Nordiques now trying to equalize this game. Konstantinov at center ice, but he's checked by Peter Stastny. Goulet's got it. Ahead for Stastny. Stastny can't reach that puck. It's back to get it as Zelapukin. Behind the net, Konstantinov. Now Peter Stastny hooked a little bit on the play, but Jeffrom's got it. His shot, glove, save, Melnikov. All goaltending.
The goaltenders have been just brilliant tonight, Ron. The tide going back and forth. The flow of this game has been going from one side to the other. It must be a full moon out there tonight because I don't know which way it's going to go. First of all, the Soviets have got total control. They're dominating, make it up to 4-2. Now here's a replay. Watch Peter Stastny here. He moves it over to the Goulet. Goulet, he gets the shot blocked. He gets the rebound. Now watch the puck come to the left and just trickle away from the net. A glorious chance from Michel Goulet. And I'm glad to see him back. He went into that dressing room, and we're a little worried about that.
Well, Goulet's had his injury problems. You know, he's been a very durable guy up until this year. The first game of the season, stretched knee ligaments. In the season opener, underwent arthroscopic surgery. Prior to this year, in 9 seasons, he had missed only 33 games, and 11 of those had come when he broke his hand in a fight against Kevin Dineen. Moeller firing it in. Gillis, Makarov up along the boards now. Trying to get loose and knocked to the ice is Makarov. Here's a chance. Oh, Steinberg is robbed. Out in front again. Steinberg robbed. He was cold in front of the net. Here come the Soviets once again. Breaking loose. He's checked by Jeff Brown. Oh, this is exciting. Back they come again. Over the line is Larionov getting set. His shot deflected in the post. Makarov had a goal and it just dinged off the post. That's the third goal post in this period. Brown. Côté. Côté looking for a man. Shoots it just wide. Podobny. He shoots it wide. Moving in is Goulet, but he can't control it. And back out at center ice now for Quebec is Dulles. He shoots it in again. Malahov. Moving in is Podobny, the forecheck. It's knocked down by Goulet. Goulet's getting some room now as he works around behind the net looking for a shot. And it's deflected by the defense, and there's going to be a penalty. 2:53 left in the second period. Soviets lead 4-3. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Well, despite the exhortations of number 24, Sergei Makarov, Vladimir Malahov is off.
Right in front of the net, he pulls down. Walt Podobny. Malakov has given him a good hook and pulled him down. But Podobny really draws penalties like that because he goes to the net. And if you're a defenseman and he's got to step on you, going to the front of the net, after that penalty was called, Makarov was chasing the referee all over the ice. He was talking to him. And I swear he put a sentence together. I'm telling you right now.
Well, Jean Perron's got to be pretty pleased with his hockey club. He's just taken over this team. Ron Hogarth found something humorous in all of that. Hasn't had an awful lot of work. There generally isn't in these games.
He's got Hogarth's also let a lot of things go out there. You know, a lot of hooks, a lot of some pulling down, but he's been calling everything around the net. Here's a shot by Larionov. Now watch the deflection here by Makarov, right? off the post. Bob Mason had played it perfectly, but he can't do anything like that. Makarov dropped it off, went to the net, and had a good opportunity on that deflection.
Now we just got a penalty called right off the face-off to Michel Goulet. Tripping. The Goulet goes. We'll see what happened here. After all of that.
Not breaking out if I can help it.
Yeah, all right. Komilev went down. Now that evened all that up in 4 seconds after all that arguing. Goulet for tripping at 17:11. Malikov went off at 17:07 for cross-checking.
One of the things the Soviets have been very strong in has been their special teams. They've got 2 power play goals tonight. They've got a short-handed goal. This is an ideal situation to watch them on a 4-on-4. Kind of looking forward to it. They're used to that big ice service, and now and when you get a 4-on-4, you're going to have a lot more ice service for them.
That's the translator working with Viktor Tikhonov as Gauthier and Bonnie, the linesmen, are over there now. And boy, he's had an awful lot to say as Makarov. He's been talking ever since that first penalty.
He's been down, and his hands have been going. You notice that?
No. And he keeps saying 2. I don't know who he's referring to. Bobby Dulles? Or 2 minutes?
It's going to be fun to watch now, Ron, with this 4-on-4. I kind of miss this in the National Hockey League. It's a Wayne Gretzky rule, but what can you do? The officials want to keep it this way.
It opens things up. It really...
I like to see the better players, and this is when the better players get on the ice an awful lot.
The guys who can find the open ice. Peter Stastny now ahead for Sakic now. Sakic with a jump on the defense, but getting back there is Zusarov behind the net. Knocking it away is Kasatonov, and he gets the return pass, and Kasatonov out at center ice now. Getting it ahead. Knocked away once again. Back inside his own line. They clear it through center ice. Pumilev unable to control it inside the line. And it's Moeller feeding it right back to Mason at the side of the net. Brown. Jeff Brown. He starts out for the Nordiques. He'll flip it in now. Peter Stastny going in to corral that bouncing puck, and it's knocked away from him, but Moeller's right there. Back to Stastny, but it's deflected away. Now Sakic out for Stastny. Stastny trying to get it in. Moeller in front. High hockey game. Jeff Brown parked on the side of the net. A terrific play.
Oh, Ron, you got a special team. The special players go out there. Watch how there's nobody on the blue line. Randy Moeller into Brown, redirects it. But Peter Stastny, who's been covered like a tin in front of the net, 2 guys on him, drops it back to Moeller, the quick pass over to Brown, and we've got a tie hockey game.
Well, Jeff Brown liked it. Peter Stastny and Randy Moeller drawing the assists on that, and we've got a 4-4 tie here at the Colisée. What has been a terrific game. They like scoring and action and goal post and goaltending. Here the Soviets once again, as that shot by Homotov is drifted wide of the net. Bekov stopping, ducking around Marwov. Bekov still with that puck now. He's got a man out in front, and Homotov couldn't get it to him. Homotov now picks up the puck in the corner. Number 15. Over to the far side now. Fed into the corner. Bekov is after it in there. Bekov to Homotov, but Anton Stastny picks it up and flips it out to center ice. Chasing back is Vladimir Konstantinov. Konstantinov just unloading that pass for Homotov. Homotov at center ice. Getting it to Larionov. Ahead. Homotov. Back now Fetisov. Larionov trying to control it, but couldn't contain the puck. And it's back inside the Soviet blue line. Stelnov. Ahead for Fetisov. Fetisov stripped away from him, but offside as Gillis brought it in. A player trapped inside the blue line. That was Alain Côté, and we'll get a face-off. 4-4 tie. 1 second remaining in the penalty to Goulet. They've had a power play going for about 5 seconds. I'll get a chance to take a look at the goal again, Brad.
Well, big play. Look at this 4-on-4. You got to remember, nobody's playing defense out here. Everybody's up. And a bing play from Stastny to Moeller to Jeff Brown. And he just redirects it home. Melnikov is standing there watching. He's waiting for the shot. Moeller makes a quick pass. Catches him. Jeff Brown puts it away.
They've discussed that 4 times over again. That's Moeller on the right. Jeff Brown on the left.
They have a monitor in there watching it. John Perron really likes Jeff Brown. He thinks this young guy's got a lot of potential. And he feels that he's not necessarily, he could be someday a 35, 40-minute man, but right now, his even-up situations and power plays and 4-on-4s will be his strength.
Now Lysyshyn behind his own net. Steinberg circling out to Côté just outside the blue line, but it's brought in and then put back out again by Krutov. Now deflected off the boards and in by Larionov. Dulles is back there. Dulles, Lysyshyn out to Côté. Côté now working it through. We've got 9 seconds remaining in the second period. Gillis on behind the net now. Steinberg out in front. Here's a chance for Muller, and he just couldn't corral it. Out it comes to center ice as the siren goes. On an exciting second period of play, the total shots on goal, Nordiques out shooting the Soviets 23-14. We have a 4-4 tie. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV.
Well, Bedubby said in the last intermission that the Quebec Nordiques were spending a very great deal of their time in the first period standing around watching and admiring the Soviets play hockey. Well, they were trailing by a goal after the first 20 minutes after leading 2-0, but certainly they found their legs in the second frame and came out barnstorming, but had nothing to show for it but a short-handed goal against, even though they had dominated play and they were down by a couple, but Euro Yarvey got one back, and then we have Jeff Brown scoring to make it a 4-4 hockey game, and certainly heading into the final period, Quebec Nordiques are in a pretty good position. You have to admire the stamina of these Soviets. They don't complain much either. We've heard of West Coast teams in the National Hockey League complaining about road trips. Well, the Soviets, when they play in North America, of course, are always on the road. And they had a flight to remember, which took them through Brussels from Moscow to New York, to Montreal, to Quebec City, and arrived at 1 o'clock in the morning, Christmas Day, at their hotel. Well, when you hear about people who score winning goals in international hockey games, you think of Paul Henderson, Darryl Sittler, Mario Lemieux. You might also think of Mike Bossy. He joins us now upstairs with Ron Rouge.
Of hockey, great international games. I think Mike Bossy will always remember this one. Great shot from the point, and Mike Bossy right at the side of the net. Or I think one of the most exciting games I've ever broadcast. I don't know, Mike, whether it was as exciting to play it or not, but it was a terrific night for everyone who watched it.
Well, it was a super game, one of the best hockey games that I've ever played in, and I felt very fortunate to be able to have scored the winning goal that night.
Tell me about these games. You know, we used to hear complaints from the players that, you know, they interrupted the regular season and so on. There's still I imagine there's still a warm spot for being able to challenge maybe a different hockey system, a different way of doing things, or just great athletes.
Well, you know, I think that during the season, as like tonight the Nordiques are playing the Russians, it does create some sort of problems because it does come right in the middle of your season and it's right after Christmas. But I think that you don't realize the experience that you were able to have until after your career, like I am now, and I watch these games, and I'm very grateful to have been able to play in so many international competitions.
Might say right now, Mike, of course, retired this year, bad back problems. How is the back now?
Well, the back really isn't any better. As a matter of fact, it's probably a little worse than it was when I was playing, but I don't have to get up every morning and practice, so it doesn't make it that bad.
And broadcasting hockey games now for Quatre Saisons, the Quebec French network, and an author. Tell us a little bit about the book and how it's going.
Well, the book is basically about my hockey career from a youngster right up until my National Hockey League career, and I talk about the Stanley Cups and about my international hockey competition, and there's a couple of funny stories in there also.
I imagine so. Some great years, of course, with the New York Islanders. Quick comment on this game. We've said it a couple of times, pretty exciting. It's kind of a fun game.
Yeah, it is. It's a pretty exciting hockey game. I think that it's a typical game. There's a lot of skating, there's a lot of scoring, not too many body checks, and it's you know, a typical game for after or during the holidays. And at the same time, my family is having a reunion today, and I know they're at home watching. I'm sorry I couldn't be there, but I had to work. I hope you're all having fun.
Okay, Mike, good luck on the book. Good luck on your broadcasting career.
Thank you.
Mike Bossy joining us here. Dan Matheson's down below. He'll be back in just a moment.
The Quebec Nordiques have scored the first 2 goals in this hockey game and the last 2, and they've tied St. Galani with 20 minutes to play at It's a momentous year for this hockey team, which is still in Quebec City, very much because of Marcelo Bou, who at one time was just the team president, now part owner. Maybe you can quickly tell us what happened in that story.
Well, the story was that Kyle O'Keefe, who owns the team, decided to sell the control of the team. They sold it to somebody outside of this province, and that we didn't know.
Who was that?
And then my guess was Mr. Horness, and there's no insurance on that. And by the way, later on we bought the Argos, as you know. Anyway, that was not the important part. The important part was that team should belong to Quebec, and that's why we really assure the people by buying it ourselves. And I tell you one thing, as an owner, it's a different feeling that just handling Kyle O'Keefe money, even if I was doing it as my own money. I mean, big difference.
Have the fans rewarded you? Have they shown even more enthusiasm for this hockey?
Oh yes, I'll tell you one thing. We are, as you know, in the construction process, rebuilding process, and the crowd, the building is filled, and the atmosphere is great. People are patient, ready to wait. And as you see, we play already better. And the second part of the season, we are going to be very tough to beat.
Coaching change, that's always a big decision to make. Many people thought that with or without a health problem, Ron Lapointe may not have come
It's tough to say. We really, the GM, Malcolm Madden, really decided to stay behind, you know, and to show the players that they won't run that hockey team. It's going to be a management decision. And he was really behind Ron Lapointe for a long period of time, I tell you. But his health problem forced a change. And since it's curious and it's doing better. And I will say, though, that for our Liverpool Montreal Canadian game, that one coaches the last game, has been the steps to go forward and do better than the first half.
You've got the Soviets in your building tonight. You had them in rendezvous. You think that you're going to have them a lot more in the future. You say that the future of the NHL is
as you said, when he arrived one day earlier than he was supposed to arrive in the Mirabel 48 hours ago, the inconvenience was he called me in my home, you know, being the man. I figured I should just call Marcelo Bou. And we met together and very close way in the rendezvous 7, and since we kept good relation, we were very pleased about that big event. I tell you, I think the future of our hockey is international hockey, and our game is great, and the thing is fine, but I tell you, the future will be by playing more often the Soviet, and who says probably we're going to have a championship every year against them pretty soon.
Well, enjoy the rest of the hockey game. Thank
you very much.
Marcelo Bou, part owner, team president, Quebec Nordiques. We'll be back with Brad Park in just a moment with his highlights of the first and second periods.
Once we open the doors on Sears boxing...
It was Yuri Haimalavs scoring for Central Army at 9:24. That was a short-handed goal, and maybe some Quebec fans thought that the Nordiques were in big trouble, but back they came with Neil Yarvi and then Jeff Brown scoring in the last 6 minutes of that second frame. And Brad's here now to look at the tying goal. Shots on goal favoring the Nordiques in that period and now in the game today.
Well, I give the Nordiques a lot of credit with bouncing back here. They're putting some tremendous pressure on the Soviets in their end. As the puck comes out of the corner, it comes out to the point. Watch Peter Stastny take two guys out to Moller, over to Jeff Brown, tie game in the second period. That's a big goal for Quebec because they were faltering. To get two goals back in the last 6 minutes and bring them back in that game is a big tell.
4-4. This game will be decided in the third period. NHL rules prevail. There could be overtime. Stay with us on CTV.
A CTV News update brought to you by Texaco. Here is Lloyd Robertson.
An Israeli government spokesman says Prime Minister Shamir wants both superpowers to sponsor Middle East peace talks.
Molson presents NHL Supersérie, the Soviet Union in exhibition with teams of the NHL. Brought to you in part by Coca-Cola Classic, you can't beat the feeling. By your local McDonald's restaurant. By Lloyd's Bank Canada, the new breed of bank with quality branches coast to coast. and by Sega Video Games. Only Sega brings electronic 3D technology into your home.
Well, as Dan Matheson mentioned, this game is going to be decided in the third period or in the overtime. And there could be a 5-minute overtime under NHL rules here at the Colisée de Québec tonight. 4-4 tie as you look at Jean Perron, the new coach of the Nordiques. Well, life goes on in the National Hockey League. One final score. The New York Rangers have defeated the New Jersey Devils 5-1. 2 goals by Thomas Sandstrom in that game. That game played at Madison Square Garden. In Buffalo, the Sabres lead the Boston Bruins 2-1 in the third period. Housley has both goals for Buffalo. Carter scoring for Boston. Hartford and Pittsburgh tied at 2 in the second period of their game. Don Maloney, who was just acquired by Hartford, scoring one of the goals for the Whalers. Zalapsky and Hannon for Pittsburgh. Lemieux has an assist in that game. Should go over these trades, by the way. Hartford and the Rangers made a deal this afternoon. Kerry Wilson has gone from the Hartford Whalers to the Rangers in return for Norm McIver, Don Maloney, and Brian Lawton. And Rick Vive has been traded by the Chicago Blackhawks to Buffalo for Adam Clayton. 2 deals made this afternoon. New York Islanders trailing the Toronto Maple Leafs 3-2 in the second period of their game. That game taking place at Maple Leaf Gardens tonight. Play underway here in the third period. And from the face-off, Mario Marwa picking it up deep in his own zone and bringing it to center ice himself and shooting it in. Fetisov going up against the boards, but Steinberg's there and coming back to pick up the loose puck is Igor Larionov. He gets it out to center ice, and Marwa just drives it right back in again. Fetisov behind his own net. Steinberg in there to check on him. Fetisov, Steinberg steals the puck, tries to get set in front of the net. There's a shot. It's loose in front. Players go down. It's still loose. Côté can't reach it. And it's cleared off to the wing and out to center ice by Finn. Finn's got it. Finn clearing it to Steinberg. Loose in the center ice zone. Krutov to Makarov, who clears it in, and Finn is back there to pick it up. Finn, far side, out to center ice now. Shot right by Kasatonov, deep into the Soviet zone. Peter Stastny is in there. It's rattled off the boards by Alexei Gusarov, and the Soviets will start out. Out of center ice, Makarov, leaving it there for Bekov. Bekov's over the line. He's got that great speed. There's a shot. Good save made again by Bob Mason. Up along the boards now. Duchesne is stopped on the play. Homotov dropping it off. There's Gusarov. Gusarov loses it to Peter Stastny. Goulet can't hold it at the line. Kasatonov gets it to center ice. Tries a lead pass for Bekov, but that was into the traffic. And once again, Nordiques back. Duchesne working for the corner. Clears it in front. It's blocked at the defense. Kasatonov is right there. Now Moeller trying to find a man in front. There's a shot wide of the net. Homotov for the Soviets. Out at center ice, Homotov flipping a pass to the side for Kamensky. Kamensky trying to work in. It's relayed by Homotov into the corner for Kamensky. He's stopped. Duchesne's got it. He clears it along the boards and out to center ice. Through the legs of Malikov. And the Nordiques have got it. Goulet can't control at center ice. The Soviets with Malikov getting a return pass out at center ice and into the Nordic zone. And back to get it is Curtis Lasician. Out along the board, Sakic, Lasician getting the pass out for Dulles. He clears it through center ice, and going back to pick it up will be Malikov. Malikov turning, clearing it into the corner. Kumalev out at center ice. Cutting across ice, it's cleared back in again. And once again, Lasician. Yarby. That's knocked down in the center ice zone. The Soviets will try to come right back in again. Dulles picks it up at the side of his own net. Here's Dulles. Dulles in forecheck. Lasician gets it in the far corner now. Gets it out at center ice. There's a lead pass. Sakic trying to get it, knock it down. He's rattled up against the glass there, and the Soviets come right back in again. Over the line comes Homolev, but he's stopped on the play as he is forced back into the center ice zone. Back for Fetisov. Fetisov ahead. Konstantinov. Number 16, a new partner for Fetisov. Flipped in over the line, knocked right back out to center ice again. Cherny carrying it ahead. Czerny gets it again. Czerny's now set, gets a shot away. Now it's loose in front of the net. Davidoff going in there. Out to the point. Fetisov trying to keep control of it. Konstantinov. Inside his own zone is knocked down by Duchesne. He brought it back in offside. 4-4 tie here in Quebec City. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. 4-4 tie from the Colisée de Québec.
Starting to see a little fatigue, Ron, and the players have been skating very strongly for the first two periods. But right now you're starting to see some of the plays not clicking because of a little bit of fatigue. So I would look for the coaches to start short shifting the players a little bit more and to keep those legs strong.
On the face-off, Steinberg moving in after it. Krutov is number 9 in the corner, tried to get it out. Gillis kept it in. Côté in for Steinberg. Now he's looking for a man in front. Nobody got in position. And Makarov takes over behind his own net. Leaves it for Kasatonov. Kasatonov flipping it there for Krutov, who just lets it lie there for Gusarov, who sends it to center ice. Krutov's over the line. Now Krutov trying to circle around the defense. He's around the net. Checked by Finn. Sakic back there, clears it into the corner. Now Finn. Gillis moving in. Gillis flipping it up. Picking it up at center ice. Larionov. Larionov gets a return pass from Krutov. Côté off the boards, and Kasatonov is back there. Kasatonov, the lead pass. Larionov. Moeller back there. Moeller checked on the play as he's behind his own net. Peter Stastny's got it. Peter Stastny ahead now for Jeff Brown at center ice. Brown ahead for Goulet. Goulet. Stastny unable to control it. Here they come again. Rink wide pass. Breaking in is Makarov. All alone. Shoots. Hit the post. Oh, he got it in there, and it came right back out again. The red light went on, and the Soviets have broken the tie on a breakaway by Sergei Makarov.
Well, if you talk about somebody who sees an extra dimension on the ice, this man right here, Sergei Makarov, watch this as he crosses the blue line. He's going to look back to see how much time he has. There's the little peak, goes to his left, and boy, that's in and out before you can blink. Bob Mason gets stuck with a tough guy coming down on him. Here it is, he takes a little look back, knows how much time he's got, stays on his forehand and throws it upstairs. A beautiful goal. Quebec's defense was caught a little bit on the chin.
Right, we were talking to Jean Perron prior to the game, and he said the one thing he had to warn his players, especially the younger players, was watch out for the guy who's sneaking in behind you. The Soviets are great at doing that, and Larionov spotted Makarov floating around the blue line and got a perfect pass to him. They had the defense beat. And it's now 5-4 Soviets. On the boards, Duchesne unable to control it. Now it's out at center ice. Bekov to the far side. They cleared right back in again. Mason's out of his net. Moeller up along the boards for Duchesne. Duchesne working through center ice now. With Goulet, he's ridden off the play by Konstantinov. And once again, Kamensky. Kamensky flipped up into the crowd, and we'll have a face-off. 5 minutes and 54 seconds gone in the period. 5-4, Soviets lead. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Sergei Makarov, his first goal of the evening, 4:58. Here it is. And Larionov.
This is how it happened. The turnover at the blue line by Kasatonov. 4 Quebec guys up. Makarov returned wide. Knew he had all the time in the world. And he just stuck it up real quick with that turnover inside the blue line. 4 Quebec Nordiques attacking, 1 defenseman back. The guy wide open walks in. Makarov on a breakaway. They've got the lead right now.
Now there's Larionov. Is it Larionov? No. Looks like him for a moment there, about to take the face-off. That youngster is Nemchenov. And puck is cleared out to center ice. Soviets have 2 power plays. A shorthanded goal, 2 power play goals, a shorthanded goal, and an even strength goal. The Nordiques have 4 even strength goals. 5-4 right now. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. Now's the time the Nordiques power play needs to get going. Ilya Byakin has been called for tripping at the 6-minute mark. Nordiques with the 4 even strength goals, and they trail by a goal, 5-4. They've got the power out there, you know, when they get their people, Podobny and Stastny and Goulet, a couple of point people like Brown and Sakic.
They do have some people who can move the puck very well. And this is the one area when they get the healthy people back that makes a big difference because the puck just moves that much smoother when you get guys out there with good hands.
Soviets killing off the penalty and doing well so far. This is cleared back in over the line. Omolev is the one doing most of the work there, number 31. Peter Stastny now handing it off out at center ice. Podobny circling through center ice. Podobny along with Sakic over the line, and it's offside as Peter Stastny got in too quickly. As we take a look at young Joe Sakic, the Canadian Junior Player of the Year last year from Burnaby, BC.
John Perron really likes Joe Sakic. He likes the way he handles the puck. His sixth sense, as he calls it, for getting in the holes. A lot of people didn't think Joe Sakic was a very good skater, but as far as Jean Perron is concerned, he gets there at the right time. And that's the sign of a good player. It doesn't matter how you get there, but if you got to get there at the right time, and Joe Sakic does that.
Well, there's a phrase, they say, find the open ice. If you're there, when the puck gets there and you're unchecked, you're a very difficult player to deal with. Brown to Sakic. Here he comes now over the line. I think he's a pretty good skater. Over the line, circling in deep. Now tries to get up Podobny. Podobny was knocked to the ice just as the puck came there by Gusarov. Actually, he moves pretty well.
He had a good stride going there. Had the speed, did the nice move to the outside. Went wide, started looking for somebody coming down the slot, but couldn't get the opening.
Goulet trying to feed it through to Stastny. Goes all the way to the goal. And cleared right back out to center ice by Alexei Gusarov. Now Mason out of the net. Forechecking is Makarov. Mason coolly throws it around the boards. Here comes Sakic now. Throws it out to Peter Stastny, who's forced to deal with it as he had to turn on the play. Sakic gets it again, but then it's checked away from him. Now Goulet will take a try. Goulet behind the net for Peter Stastny. Out near the blue line, and Makarov has deflected it off the board past Brown and out to center ice. Jeff Brown. Anton Stastny. Anton Stastny takes the shot, and a rising shot is gloved by Milnikov, and he holds on.
Well, look at Milnikov catching the puck as it's going for his face, but he had gone down. That's one of the times when you goaltender, especially like Milnikov, they go down. If you've got time to give it a pump, in this case, Anton didn't give it a pump, but Milnikov, look where his legs are when the puck was leaving Anton Stastny's stick. He's one of those guys that if you do give the time, if you can ever give it a pump, get him down and go upstairs on him. But he made a fine catch on that puck, and the Soviet goaltenders aren't really known for having a great glove hand.
Well, he's been worked pretty hard in that second period. The Nordiques outshot the Army 18-6. That's a pretty good hockey game, and to come out of that period, a 4-4 tie, and actually outscored 2-1 tells you a little bit about the kind of game that Milnikov has had so far here tonight. Anton Stastny back out to Marois. His shot is deflected at the blue line by Homotov, who was forechecking. Rink wide on the far side. Moeller behind the net. Gillis. Gillis in the corner. Yarby. Gillis behind the net. He gets set now out in front. That's Anton Stastny getting it out. Gillis. Gillis drops it back for Marois. Marois trying to get a cleaner shot. And it's deflected all the way to center right now. Biakin. All alone. Biakin gets set. Goes to the backhand and shot it wide. Behind the net, Marois. Biakin in there as well, but Gillis comes away with it now. Teams are at even strength. Gillis at center ice. He's tied up by Bekov. Bekov turns. Chopped in over the line by Homotov. Finn will go back for it. Finn behind his own net. Sakic comes back to help out. Finn then sends it straight up ice. And for the Nordiques is to Shane, clearing it in. Fetisov also in there. It's knocked away and out to center ice. That was Huff who was trying to get set. Soviets right back in. Over the line now. Carrying that puck is Davidoff. Davidoff still with that puck. He's number 11 back behind the net. They go to a backhand shot. There's a save in front of the net as they shovel away at that puck. Chernik was right there. And so was Bob Mason to cover the puck up. 5-4, Soviets lead. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV.
And I look at Bob Mason. If Milnikov was busy in the second period, Bob Mason has definitely been busy in this period. Here's a breakaway by Biakin. Watch him go to his backhand, but it goes off the end and just goes wide of the net. The difference between having Makarov coming, and here's the last player around Bob Mason. This could be the save of the game by Bob Mason getting out with his blocker, especially if it brings Quebec back. If they can tie this game up, I'm going to say that could be the turning point in this period, that save.
Face off deep in the Nordic zone. Number 26 for the Soviets is Chernik. Trying to get things lined up here. And Steinberg, what's happening is outside on the outer rim of the face-off circle. Davidoff and Steinberger jostling a little bit. Out from the face-off, Bobby Dulles skates behind his own net, clears it around the boards, and it winds up going past Steinberg and out to center ice. Back there is Chernik. Chernik to Fetisov. Fetisov ahead. Davidoff. Davidoff is checked by Steinberg. Inside the blue line now, there's a player hurt as Steinberg checking aggressively near the blue line. And a player went down just at the blue line. I can't see who it is as we look down from our vantage point.
Steinberg really collided very, very high on the boards here. Watch the check here. Here comes Steinberg. It's number 11.
That's Davidoff.
Davidoff. Now watch his head hit the boards here. And as he falls, I believe his head also hit the ice. A little miscue along the boards. Here's another look at it. The puck doesn't know. Watch the elbow of Steinberg catch him, drive his head into the glass, and as he falls, he doesn't fall quite as easily either. I think they're just taking a little precaution with him right now.
Now looks like they've handed an elbowing penalty out to Steinberg. So there'll be a penalty call. Fans didn't like the call. Steinberg just a little too aggressive right at the line.
Viktor Tikhonov had a very interesting thing today, Ron, when we were talking to him. Basically talking about the ups and downs last year that his team and his players went through, especially the national team and also the Army team. They had a lot of ups and downs with the games that they're playing.
Well, it's 5-4, and the Soviets are about to go on the power play. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CT. Well, to the left of your screen, one of the all-time Soviet scorers, Boris Mikhailov. And, of course, next to him is the head coach, Viktor Tikhonov. Mikhailov now an assistant. There's Trevor Steinberg, who's in for elbowing at 9:27. And we'll take a look at it once again. As you see Davidoff being worked over. Yep, that'll wake you up very quickly.
Couple of blinking retinas going there, aren't you?
All right, now we'll see what happens. As Fetisov cuts in front of his own net, starts out, feeds the pass to Krutov, back to Fetisov, ahead at center ice for Konstantinov. He gets to the line, but no further, and Fetisov's got it at center ice once again. Fetisov turning, Gillis checking on him, but moving up is Krutov. He cuts right through the defense and goes to his backhand, shoots, and is deflected away by Bob Mason. Now, how do they come? They beat it down the ice, Paul Gillis. And Fetisov will go back once again. Fetisov behind his own net. Ahead. Larionov at center ice. Number 11 or number 9 is Krutov. He's out there. His shot right back out at center ice again. And the Soviets have had trouble getting anything going here. It's Larionov now. Drops it off. Fetisov. Fetisov. Being chased back. Backing is in there for checking. Fetisov. Ahead for Makarov. Center ice, drops it off. Moving up is Kasatonov. Kasatonov, Krutov, Larionov. Back for Kasatonov in the corner. Krutov at the point, gets the pass. Over to Fetisov, he stands on it. And the whistle blows. Larionov goes down under a slash. And I don't know whether Hogar saw it or not.
Larionov was standing in the slot. Joe Sakic slashed him mainly on the head. Watch out, here's the slash right there. Larionov takes a little bit. He's really that hurt. Down he goes. There is the slash. And I don't think Ron Hogarth saw it. There's no doubt about it. We have the benefit of the replay. And I think in the case of Ron John Hogarth was probably looking at the puck, probably looking at the front of the net, and this happened out between the hash marks and the top of the circle, and he probably wasn't keying on it. I think the linesman saw it. He's saying something to Joe Sakic, and he's probably saying, Joe, is that really necessary?
Well, Larionov in a little bit of pain. 45 seconds left in the penalty to Steinberg. That's Mario Gosselin sitting number 33 at the end of the bench, former Canadian Olympian. Played in the 84 games in Sarajevo. The linesman has come in and said something to Hogarth. Wayne Bonney, he saw it. Of course, linesmen can't call that sort of thing. Sometimes think they should be able to. Now to center ice, it's Gillis again, flipping it in. And back for the Soviets is Homotov. Homotov starting out, leads it ahead for Bekov. Bekov turning, gets it out to center ice by everybody. It's chipped free by Homotov, and Gillis has it. Gillis getting it back, and they'll golf it down the ice. Out of the net now, flipped up along the boards is Milnikov. Moving in is Gillis. Gillis circling the net. Gillis swinging to the far side. 8 seconds left in the power play, and it's shot out to center ice as the Nordiques will kill this one off. Duchesne now. Duchesne circling, and the penalty has expired. Duchesne back near his own line. Drops it back now. And a good hand for the penalty killers here as Jeff Brown clears it down. There to get it is Kasatonov. Kasatonov with the Soviets leading 5-4. Out at center ice now for Bekov. Bekov clearing it in over the line. Yakin. Stastny. Peter Stastny over the line now. Gets it for Dubny. Shoots right on. Juggled momentarily by Volnikov. And he holds on for the face-off. 8:04 left in regulation time. As you look at Walt Dubny, former Ranger high scorer. And a dangerous shooter.
Ron, one of the things that's scary, watch how deep in the net Milnikov is. When this shot comes, look where he is. Instead of being out challenging the shooter, the one thing that scares me about Soviet goaltenders, and we saw it a lot at the Olympics and the Canada Cup last year, was that they're not out challenging the shooters. And that shot almost handcuffed them when it should have been hitting them in the pads.
Now from the face-off in the corner. It's backhanded out to center ice by Humalev. Lysyshin's back to get it for the Nordiques. Curtis Lysyshin being driven against the boards. Humalev now looking for a man in front of the net, forced to retreat. Here's a quick shot, that one taken from the high slot area by Nemchinov. Peter Stastny, Goulet. Goulet forced back. Soviets intend to keep the Nordiques pinned in if they can. With 7 minutes and 24 seconds left in regulation time. Back in his own zone is Malahov. He's checked on the play. Malahov then gets it out to center ice, and here they come once again as Larionov in full flight. Well recovered. Larionov finds a little bit of room and gets a shot away, but it's deflected off the leg, and Goulet strikes out. Goulet at center ice. Goulet ahead. Anton Stastny. He's chased into the corner by Fetisov. Puck is cleared in front of the net. Marwa moves in, and the Soviets bring it out. Rink wide. Out there is Makarov, but unable to move too far with it. And back from behind his own net will come Fetisov. Fetisov. Krutov. Out at center ice, deflected away by Makarov. Moving up is Konstantinov from his defensive position. Gets it over the line. The Nordiques come right back with Anton Stastny. Stastny through center ice now for Yarby. Yarby over the line. Sakic. Yarby again. Yarby turning up near the boards, and it went off the leg and out to center ice. Krutov. Krutov ducking away from Yarby's checking. Now feeds it ahead for Bekov. Bekov threw it in there, and Bob Mason held on for the faceoff. Still 5-4 Soviets. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. If we were to describe these two fellows, they would be called traditionalists. They believe in the defensive style of hockey.
Well, it's always been proven, good defense can create offense and shut down the other teams, but also generate some offense for yourself. You notice how there's a one-goal difference in this game, and both coaches had the same expression. They're not happy.
And won't be happy till the final siren. One will be happier than the other. On the face-off out at center ice, it's Gusarov, number 5. Bekov, number 19. Homotov trying to get to the line. Randy Moore stripped him with that puck, but back at the center ice zone again, it's Gusarov. Gusarov jamming there with Gillis. Puck comes to Bekov. Bekov back in his own zone and flipped out. Gillis takes over for the Nordiques and shoots it right back in again. Now Kasatonov. This has not been as exciting a period here in the third as the second was, as both teams have settled into a defensive form. Ahead, Peter Stastny taking in after that one now. Now he'll look for a man in front if he can find him. Gusarov is there. It's cleared to the side of the net. Now Podubny working in front, and the net's off the board. Now a lot of close contact around the goal mouth area, and finally the net came loose.
Yeah, sometimes nobody's watching the net. You ever notice in a game like this, everything's going around, you're looking at the puck, you're looking for the guys getting free, but nobody's watching the net. Here we're going to find out how this gets off its moorings right now. Watch right for the side of the net. It's actually Peter Stastny that knocks it off the net as the Nordiques were getting a good scoring opportunity. He kind of lost his balance, got pushed into it. Good call.
Well, after a second period in which the shots on goal totaled 24, here we are with 5:10 remaining in this period, and a total of 8 shots. Soviets are out shooting Quebec 5-3. So that's the way they started to play here, as they've gone close to the best. Yakin over the line now. There's a shot blocked by the defense. That one taken by Humilev. Humilov's number 31 trying to work that puck in front of the net. Dulles is checked on the play. Yakin's there. Now Yemchinov, number 22, out to Podubny. Podubny flipping it in now. And back to get it. Stelnov. Stelnov goes down. And the Soviets start out with Makarov. Deflected away at center ice. Marwa takes over. He turns, gives it to Sakic. Sakic comes in over the line. Sakic looking for a little room. And is checked away from him very easily by Fetisov. But then it's checked away from Fetisov. Sakic had trouble getting set as it got caught up in his skate. And that really messed up on the play. Never did get a shot away. Anton Stastny with some room, and there's another save by Melnikov. Now Melnikov has been tested. The shots on goal, 27-19 total in the game, in favor of Quebec as they look there at Anton Stastny, who got a little room coming down the wing.
Keep your eye on Melnikov here. He plays this one really well. Notice how he's changed his position. Now he's out a little bit more, challenging the shooter, and wasn't going down. A goaltender's got to read that play from the blue line in. Actually, should read from the far blue line. He knew that Anton Stastny didn't have a lot of time. He also knew that everybody else was picked up. So that way he could just concentrate strictly on the shooter.
Now, Melnikov's one of those guys who just said, the heck with this big city life, I'm going home. And he's gone back to Chelyabinsk, that's in Siberia. That's where he plays for Traktor, which is the team there. And they pick him up every once in a while when they need a goaltender for things like the Olympics, Canada Cups, and so on.
Well, he was a surprise in the Olympics last year. We thought that Beloshakin was going to get most of the duty, but then Beloshakin looked early in some of the early games. It looked a little rough, and they went to Melnikov. He played very well for him.
Well, we're beginning to wonder now whether Beloshakin is going to become the Boris Alexandrov of this year. There's a hard check thrown over the line. Finn is upset. The check was thrown there by Konstantinov, who lost his helmet. Now he's lost a glove. Puck is down in the Nordiques zone. And back come the Nordiques. At center ice, it's cleared to the line, but no further by Stephen Finn, and Fetisov is back to pick it up. Fetisov wrapping it off. At center ice, turning with the puck is Bekov. Bekov, a rink-wide pass for Homotov. Homotov now, here's a chance, is moving in on the puck was Kamensky. Yarvi for the Nordiques. Behind the net, wristed over for Moeller. Moeller deflects it, but not out. It's stopped at the line by Gusarov, and that's away from the goal mouth area by Jeff Brown. Yarvi, long lead pass now. Here they come with Huff working to the side of the net, and it bounces up right into the hands of Melnikov. He holds on for the faceoff. Still 5-4 Soviet lead. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV. 5-4. Soviets lead, 2:52 left in regulation time.
The Soviets can hit, Ron. Watch this. Look at this. Kasatonov puts Finn up in the air. He actually takes the worst of it. He heads to the bench after that, but a great check. Fake tie went low on Finn. Finn's a little upset about this one.
Well, I tell you, that's a major league check. That kid doesn't look bad, young fellow who's learning a little bit at the hands of the master, playing with Fetisov as we look at Peter Stastny.
Well, it really helps you. You know, one thing when you play with an experienced player, you find that when you're playing with a guy who's got a lot of poise, a lot of moxie out there, you're going to find out that he's going to slow the play down, he's going to give it to you. And for a young defenseman playing with an experienced guy, he's going to get the puck on his stick all the time. He's not going to get in his feet. It's going to make the game a little bit easier for him.
Ripped over top of the net. Kamensky. This has been the most threatening, I think, line of the game, this Kamensky-Bekov line. Omutov, number one scoring line in the Soviet Union last year, and here they come again. But Peter Stastny is right there as well. Out to Goulet. Goulet can't control it against Gusarov. Now Peter Stastny once again. Stastny, but he's stopped as he crossed the line by Kamensky. Kamensky out over the line, but Goulet's there battling with him. Peter Stastny moves in, helps out, and gives it to Jeff Brown. Brown clearing it around the glass. Bounces out crazily off that glass. How many times have we seen that? Melnikov expected it to go right around the glass and hopped right out in front, taking a bad bounce. Now Bekov coming in over the line, or tried to. Gets to the line, ducks away from another check, and then took a high stick, I believe, just as he stepped around the defense, an inadvertent high stick across the mouth. And we're going to get a high sticking penalty called with 1:54 left in regulation time.
Well, Bekov did little spins and ducks here. Here he ducks under. But Randy Moeller, he was beaten, and he put the stick up trying to hold him. But Bekov's not a tall guy. He's not very tall at all. And he took that stick on the side of the face. Just to give you an idea, Bekov, he's not, he's one of the smallest Soviet players that I've seen in a long time. But his talent, if you saw him wheel and deal along the boards there, he actually beat two Quebec Nordiques before Moeller had to put the stick on him.
High sticking at 18:06. I don't care how tall you are, the stick was not meant in this game to be carried that high.
Yeah. I guess if you're 6'6", you got to carry it about a little low, right?
Now Bekov will have a fat lip tomorrow. Well, he's turned into a pretty good hockey player, Bekov. A long way in 7 or 8 years. Very persistent kind of a guy. He's constantly at you.
A very tough break for the Quebec Nordiques with 1:54 left in the game. They're going to be short-handed right down to the wire. They're 1 goal behind. And you know, even if they pull up Bob Mason, you're going to end up in a 5-on-5 situation.
Which they almost have to do. Give us a little excitement here. Some good game, though. Behind the net is Marwa being checked. Cleared along the boards. Gillis there. Here's Sackett. All alone. Back again. Shoot. Short-handed goal. And down on the ice is Untitled. He was giving chase. And the young fella, many people think maybe the best rookie in the National Hockey League this year.
He actually pushed the puck too far ahead of him, catches up, but very, very quick dance. Watch how quickly he pulls that puck around Melnikov and tucks in. Here he's reaching for it. Watch him go to his right.
What an awful collision with the goalpost.
Oh. Sometimes you got to do things this game you don't want to do. But Joe Sackett makes up for that slash earlier in the period on Larionov. Comes back with a big short-handed goal, and injured on the play is number 21, Stelnov. They chase Sackett to length of the ice. There's the guy for Sackett, but hit the post.
Well, there's young Joe Sackett, who was hurt and missed a fair amount of playing time. He's already recorded 2 hat tricks in his first year in the NHL against the Islanders and the Canadiens. And there's Yemchenov, who desperately tried to dive and knock the puck away, And that looks like a shoulder injury. He really came hard into that goal post.
Well, I'll tell you what, the one thing Jean Perron has said before the game that he wanted his players, the other problem was that he couldn't play within the clock. You tell me how, with the Soviets that have a one-goal lead, they know they can't get caught, and they get caught for a breakaway and a short-handed goal. It can happen to Quebec Nordiques. It can happen to the Central Army.
Well, Sakic from Gillis and Mario Marwal. And overtime looms here as Fetisov comes to center right. He's forced back. Kasatonov. Krutov. The Soviets with their big line out there, now getting it to Kasatonov, who's now working with Fetisov. One of the rare occasions. Puck is in deep. Along the board. They clear it right on the stick of Stephen Finn, and he clears it down the ice. 51 seconds left in regulation time. Fetisov ahead for Makarov. Makarov hits the line. Makarov trying to split the defense. Now gets it back to Kasatonov. He has a big shot, but he gives it to Fetisov. Fetisov circling. Kasatonov. Kasatonov trying to flip it through. That was intended for Larionov. It's cleared down the ice. 30 seconds left in regulation time. 5-5 tie here at the Colisée. Out they come once again as Kasatonov brings it in for Krutov. Krutov to Makarov. Makarov out to the blue line. Fetisov. Now Kasatonov. Fetisov's shot deflects just wide. 10 seconds left. Makarov. Fetisov over for Kasatonov. Kasatonov. Now it's Makarov, and he couldn't get the shot away as Brown goes in front of it. And we'll have overtime.
What an inspiration that goal by Joe Sakic was. The day he's completely shut down the power play of the Central Army. What an inspiration that goal was.
Well, Melnikov over near his bench.
He's played a very, very strong game tonight. I know he's going to feel bad because they scored on that breakaway at the end. And there's the guy that's the hero right now. Joe Sakic, who tied the game up.
One thing that you have to realize, here's a kid who's just out of junior hockey, gets a breakaway at a key moment of the game he didn't miss, and that tells you something about Sakic.
Oh yeah, he went in. And the reason that you can tell a guy who's got some great hands is he was at full stride or full speed. Here he goes. Now watch, he gets it too far ahead of him. He's chasing this puck down. Now watch how quickly he brings his hand to his right and just slides it on the ice. Melnikov boats down off into the post. But at full speed, you take the puck from your left to your right and just beat the goaltender that quick. Superb. Here's the breakaway earlier, but the one that went ahead by Makarov as he goes upstairs with this shot. And Joe Sakic and Makarov kind of look a little bit identical here, didn't they?
Now there's Krutov sitting at the bench. Well, this is the opening game, and look at the stars. There you see Kasatonov.
We were talking, remember before the game we were talking to John Perron, and one thing he said, if I had Joe, I'm glad we're playing them first. Hopefully they're not going to have the real legs because they had that long flight over. He seems to the teams that have done well against the Soviets have either played the first game against them or the last game against them. And John Perron, this has been a very physical, hard-fought game.
Well, we don't stop here, of course. We're going to be bringing you 6 games of the Super Series 1988-89, and our next one, the whole crew's on a plane first thing tomorrow morning. We'll be in Calgary at the Saddle Dome tomorrow night to bring you the Calgary Flames and Dynamo Riga, one of the surprise teams of the Soviet playoffs last year. They went into the Soviet final against Central Army, won the first game of the final before losing 3 straight. A young team and a very physical team, we're told, by the head coach of Central Army, Viktor Tikhonov. So they'll be playing the Calgary Flames tomorrow night at the Olympic Saddle Dome, and we'll be there. And then the next night, we're in Edmonton again for Dynamo Riga, followed by Los Angeles. And then we'll come back here to the Prince of Wales division for games in New Jersey and Mario Lemieux and the Pittsburgh Penguins. So we're busy over the next 10 days. Viktor Tikhonov wonder how he feels. First game, got off a plane 48 hours ago, a 9-hour time difference between here and Moscow. But his team's been skating.
I don't think either coach anticipated that the first game would be of this intensity and physical abuse. I mean, these guys have really been punishing each other. It only took them one period to getting a real great dislike for one another.
7 seconds remaining in the power play advantage. Moeller still in the penalty box. Now down to 2 seconds, and now we're at even strength. So, 5-minute overtime. Deep in his own zone, that's Fetisov. Behind his own net, forechecking is Gillis. Backs off as Fetisov comes out. Ahead, at center ice, that's Byakin. Unable to get loose, cleared off the boards, and Gillis has got it at center ice. Gillis backhanding it in. Fetisov behind his own net, trying to fight off the checking, gets a good pass away, but it's off the stick there of Byakin. And Fetisov, a bouncing puck rolls right into the goal mouth and between the legs of Melnikov. The wires got crossed in there. Melnikov and Fetisov on a flip shot, and they are always, always dangerous. Melnikov says, look, I had it. What are you doing?
Okay, a little center field collision. They just picked up baseball in the Soviet Union, and already they're making mistakes. You know that?
Well, when two guys try to catch the puck, and one guy has a catcher's mitt and the other doesn't, I think that they should defer to the guy with the mitt.
And neither of them was trying to do it with two hands the way it's supposed to be done.
And Michel Goulet was right there, but I don't think he knew exactly where that puck had gone. Dropped right in between the skates of Melnikov. Now a quick shot and a deflected one by Moeller. And the puck bounced loose in the goal mouth area, and Melnikov was there again.
Ron, if my memory serves me right, I believe it was last year over a year ago in the Canada Cup, the Soviets went into overtime. They'd never won a game in overtime, and they won that big game back in Montreal. And this is kind of like a new taste to them, so now they're getting a little bit more. I think they're going to start liking this thing.
Well, one of the things they say about Soviet hockey is that the players are not tested under pressure situations enough. And I think that they're going to start doing that. They say it's an area, there's another flip shot, and again, Melnikov's just not going to let anything hang around that goal mouth area now. He's shutting everything down, picked that one out of midair.
He tried to get a little fancy just before then. When he made the save, he wanted to throw it to his defenseman in front, and it didn't work out. But this time, he was taking no chances. He gloved that pass that came up from behind.
Hall of Fame coach Anatoly Tarasov of the Soviet Union, the Hall of Famer, of course, says that he thinks hockey in the Soviet Union in 5 of 6 areas is better. Now, that's his opinion. The areas he lists are, if we take a shot here off a stick, we'll get to that in a moment. As the puck is cleared off the boards and out, Brown, chopped away. Peter Stastny up against the boards. He's being checked very closely in there by Homotov. Now Goulet behind the net. And Stastny is there. Peter Stastny flips it to the goal mouth, right at the side of the net. And again, Melnikov clubs it and hangs on. Finish the thought. Soviet hockey in Tarasov's view is better in 5 of 6 ingredients. And the key ingredients he thinks are natural ability, skill development, physical conditioning, practice techniques, game tactics, and strategy. He says as far as he's concerned, the Soviets are better in that area. But the one area where Canadian hockey players are better is heart and desire. He says it's missing in Soviet hockey, and he doesn't understand why. But I think that the system is wrong in the Soviet Union. You've got one great team in the Central Army and not a lot of competition. Canadians thrive all the way through junior hockey, almost from midget hockey on, under intense competition.
Well, also, I think if they put a bonus system in there, it might help, too.
Well, yeah, that's right, too. Although they do get a bonus. They got money for winning the gold medal last year in the Olympics. Here's Sakic, hero of the game so far. Over the line for Brown. Brown's lined up as he crossed the line by Makarov. Makarov then got a caught in his skates, and the Soviets just ease it out to center ice. Are they playing for a tie here? Sakic again, getting that pass over the line and knocked to the ice. As he crossed the line was Gaetan Duchesne. Makarov, good move inside that line to hang on to the puck. Now they cleared near the side of the net. Once again, Sakic trying to get around Makarov. And Fetisov's back there. Fetisov ahead, Larionov. Down to the line, he gets by a stick check from Makarov, but he couldn't move any further as Côté came back to help out. Makarov. Krutov mishandled that puck. Here's Côté, quick shot. And a save made there by Molnikov. Now rink-wide pass off the stick of Makarov. Makarov fighting his way past Finn. There's the strength of Makarov as they try to pin him up against the boards and finally do. Côté up against the boards and pokes the center ice, and Fetisov's got it. Gives it to Larionov. Over the line for Gusarov. Gusarov looking for a man in front. There's a chance for Krutov, and he banged on the first one, was tied up on the second one, and the Nordiques come back with 1:50 left in the game. Moller hits the line and stopped. Anton Stastny couldn't reach that one. Bekov comes back. Bekov rink wide. Krutov in front for Kasatonov, who couldn't get the shot away. Now up off the glass and into the crowd, and we'll have a face-off and a big one down in the Nordic zone. As you look at Kasatonov,
one of the big players for the Soviets. This guy kind of reminds you of a 6'2" Ray Bork. I mean, he's just an immense, strong man. Even visually, it looks a little bit like Ray, but he's been a major participant for this team over the years and the national team. Through the one of the things in this overtime thing is that maybe that drive and emotion right now is on Quebec's side, because I think they've really been carrying the play through the first 2.5 minutes of this overtime. It has been down in the Soviet ends. The Soviets have not handled it well. They almost like they tightened up a little bit. But once they cross that blue line out in the center ice, they seem to get a flow going again. They seem to get their stride. But from the blue line in, they really do have a little trouble in this overtime period.
Face off. This will be a big one. Quebec has outshot the Soviets in the overtime 4-0. Bekov to take the draw against Paul Gillis. And the draw is won for Dubny. As it is center ice now, tries to get it to Brown, but it's stripped away there by Homatov, back-checking on the play. Gusarov out there at center ice. And the puck comes free at the Nordic line. Now here's Stastny, coming through the bench, shoots it! Right on, rebound! And Podubny's there. Now Stastny once again. Behind the net now, Podubny battling his way. Boy, Stastny has really been a going concern in this. And as the puck is pinned against the boards with 58 seconds remaining, we'll have a face-off this time down in the Soviet end. What a chance for Peter Stastny.
Oh, this guy is such a class player, such a big, strong guy. Breaks through, a great save by Melnikov. The rebound here, as Podubny tries to get to it, but can't get his stick on it. But Peter Stastny just 2 strides broke through the net, takes a high stick there by the side of the net. But what a game he's had today. 2 goals he's set up in front of the net when he's really out-muscled the 2 Soviet defenders in each case and gets the puck off to somebody else.
I'd like to see that replay again. Did Stastny take that shot off his back foot? Looked like he was...
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you have to do that. A lot of people, you start teaching kids to step into the puck from your back foot to your front foot. But once you get, the reason for that is that the kids don't have strong wrists. But once you get to the National Hockey League, or the professional level, you're going to be able to shoot it off with either foot at any time. And when Stastny broke through there, he knew if he had waited to catch up to the puck, he had the bad angle. So he had to get rid of it, and he was on that leg, and that's when he pulled the trigger.
All right, we've got a face-off in the Soviet end, and we've had a timeout call by the Nordiques. So now we're going to get a fair amount of gamesmanship going on here. Tikhonov, of course, lecturing his group with 58 seconds remaining. And Jean Perron. Take a look at some of the games in the National Hockey League. Tonight, Buffalo beat Boston 2-1. They made a trade today. Pittsburgh over Hartford. Mario Lemieux with at least 2 points in that one. The Islanders beat Toronto 4-3. Second period in Chicago. St. Louis leading 3-1. Calgary leading Vancouver 2-1 in the second period. We'll see Calgary tomorrow night. And of course, the Rangers beat New Jersey this afternoon 5-1. Now from the faceoff, Goulet's in there. He's unable to get a good shot away. It's cleared in front. Out in front again. It's loose out there, and it's cleared away. Now the Soviets come out with Makarov carrying the puck. Makarov to the line. Waits for his mates to catch up, and then it's fed right back out to center ice for Fetisov. Fetisov to Makarov. He'll find some room now as he hits the line. Makarov, he's a game breaker, throws it in front, and Larionov unable to reach that as Sakic comes over the line, and it's ended. Fetisov took him out, and the Pirate, at least he took a stick as he, either it was the stick or the skate of Sakic as he made the check. Accidentally.
Great play. Watch him make his left come back. Keep an eye now. Watch it pull. He jumps through, but Fetisov sticks out. His left leg, he gets a stripping penalty, and even on that play, you couldn't tell what happened to Fetisov. Well, this has just been a great game so far, right down to the wire with 23 seconds to go. You end up with the Nordiques drawing a penalty. The face-off is in. The Central Army's in, and you still got time to take a good shot at it.
23 seconds left. Fetisov is saying, what the heck is going on? I got whacked and I wind up with a penalty. We can see that one again. Just catch the trip on this one. That's what they've called as a tripping penalty. Sakic went outside on Fetisov. Did he reach out enough to trip him, or did he in fact step into him?
Well, he threw his left leg out as Sakic comes out. Watch him come down. Even if Sakic gets by, he's still got enough room to get control before he gets to the net. Here comes the leg. The stick, as the stick came up, it clipped him in the forehead. But see, definitely Fetisov threw the leg out.
Yeah. So the tripping is there, and 23 seconds left. Fetisov with a bloody nose through all of that. Heads for the penalty box. 5-5 tie. We're in overtime with 23 seconds left. And a face-off to come deep in the Soviet zone. And we'll find out who Jean Perron thinks his best face-off man is right here. Peter Stastny. Is there any doubt?
Well, not tonight. I guess during the season there could be some doubts, but I'll tell you what, Stastny has played a tremendous game. You know, he's got all the firepower up front, and then Perron's putting Sakic back on the point. He's giving him more experience. He's got
Run the face-off now, out near the line. Brown taking his time, 18 seconds left now, gets it in. Suddenly trying to shoot it in front. He reaches for it again, and is cleared to center ice with 12 seconds left. So they got time for one more rush. They say it was knocked down, I think, with a high stick. So the face-off will come in the center ice zone. Now it'll come right back down into the Nordic zone. High stick is the call. So 10 seconds left in the face-off in the Nordic zone. Now the Soviets, whether they're a man short or not, I'd haul the goaltender out. But then again, I don't get paid to win and lose games.
Yeah, I agree. I agree too. I mean, this game's not going to count in the standings, right? You're not sure how Beaver Lumber and Canadian Tire did tonight, so.
All right. Soviets have got Bekov to take the draw. Homotov is lined up out in front, and that big shot of Kasatonov out near the blue line. That moves Gusarov out there too. Get him in. Bekov's had a good game. On the face-off, Bekov tried to kick it loose. They didn't do it fairly, so they'll try again. Take the second or two off. 8 seconds now remaining.
Michel Goulet on the far side was doing circles. He's trying to pick up some speed. He took one, came up one time. They hadn't dropped the puck yet. He went back, came up another time. They hadn't dropped the puck. On the third time, he jumped again.
Gillis trying to win the draw, and they get it out there. Stastny ahead for Goulet, who couldn't knock it down. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and that's going to be the hockey game. Brad, all in all, I think a legitimate result of this game. A 5-5 tie. Both teams put on a pretty good show.
I think it was an entertaining game, both for the family, for all the people that were here, the fans and everything, but a great game for the Nordiques who were trying to regroup.
Final score, the Nordiques 5, the Central Army of Moscow 5. This is the NHL Soviet Super Series on CTV.
Tonight's Molson players of the game, one from each team. Igor Larionov from the Central Army team from Moscow. Peter Stastny, the veteran, a couple of centers who plays for the Quebec Nordiques. Ironic that the Soviets dominated on special teams, scoring twice with the power play, once shorthanded, but it was Quebec with a shorthanded goal with just 2 minutes to play, coming from behind to tie this game at 5 apiece. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the hockey team we will see tomorrow night. The Calgary Flames you already know about. They have the best winning percentage in the National Hockey League. They are big, they are fast, they can score. This is an excellent hockey team. They play Dinamo Riga. Now, this is a team that we have not seen before in North America. 10th in league play last year, but a colossus in the playoffs, went to the final, and on the basis of that, they have earned their trip to North America. We are told they play a much more North American style of hockey in the Soviet Elite League than perhaps any other team. Not as talented as many, but with a lot of character. Also ironic that we saw the best and the worst of the National Hockey League in tonight's third period. Rookie Joe Sakic, maybe the Rookie of the Year. A terrific play, lots of talent, lots of heart, scores shorthanded, but also takes the two-hander to Larionov. That's the kind of work that has kept Brian O'Neill very busy. Entertaining, fast game tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. Tomorrow night we look forward to another one. Thanks for watching. Final score, once again, is 5-5. This telecast is copyright and is strictly for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or exhibition in whole or in part without the express written consent of the CTV television network is strictly prohibited.